All the dancing, the pre-show dancing.
I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself? Are you talking?
No, I can.
You can't hear yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Ring Post Radio, the only song that plays on Sundays. Ring Post Radio. This is our theme music now.
Do I hear myself? Nope, I don't. Now let me see if I hear myself on the show.
You can't hear yourself. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Ring Post Radio, the only show where things happen. Ring Post Radio.
Oh my God,
Eat your
stop.
heart out, Rich Creech.
Stop.
This is our theme music now.
Do I hear myself? Yeah, I hear myself. Jesus Christ, it took forever to get to me talking. I just had to hear you sing in both of my ears. I was trying to hear it, but you're singing on there and in here. Oh my God, that was an experience. Oh, you gotta play the theme music, don't you?
I do have to play the theme music. You ready?
Just tell me when it's over.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only show that is not only better than every other podcast, but they sat down and gave you 3 hours last week. And I don't know if we'll go to 3 hours this week, but we got a lot of great topics today, a lot of great wrestling to talk about today, some not so great wrestling, but a lot of hot takes to give to you while you're drinking your hot tea and biscuits. Shout out to our England fans. I am Ryan Knightsey, and with me, as always, is the one and only Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing?
Oh, Ryan, I got, you know what? I got adrenaline in my soul.
Ooh,
Ryan.
Baby.
I was gonna, do the whole song like I did last week because I was told that I could sing the whole song, and I definitely didn't mean to. But by the way, great song. But all right, I'll do the whole thing. No, I'll do it later. But I'm feeling good. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania ended at like 12:06.
Yeah,
midnight, despite only being 6-match show.
only a 6.
It ultimately ended up being 7, but
yeah, an ultimately 7-match show, supposed to be 8.
Yeah. So that made me tired, and then my dumbass wakes up at 3:30 a.m. to watch the Cinderella tournament live, and that was great. It would have, watching something like that, it's kind of like I was like, this is what March Madness feels like for people that like care after the first round. I'm sure, and it was great. So it was worth it. I have 3 hours of sleep total. I pretty much didn't have sleep last week either, so this should be yeah.
If you're one of those people that enjoyed Scotty last week, get ready.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, that was last week. We got 3 hours.
I told you it's never leaving.
Oh shit! I totally forgot that NXT Takeover also happened. I'll throw that in part of the WrestleMania weekend.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Ryan. Yeah. It wasn't a takeover.
You're right.
We were only standing and delivering. We were not taking over. We were only standing and delivering.
I only deliver for the flag.
Okay. Speaking like a real Texan.
Well, speaking like what was that band before the WrestleMania? The America Beautiful, whatever.
The Blake something. Was it Blake? I don't know if it was Blake. I don't really care what his name was. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Blake Christian, Blake Shelton.
No, Blake Christian's a wrestler.
Blake
Shelton's too famous for that.
Blake Bortles,
I could believe.
Blake Bortles, former Jacksonville Jaguars QB.
There you go.
That's That's 2 steals in one night for WWE. You get Blake Bortles and you get Cody Rhodes.
Sorry, I had to get that in there.
Yeah, you
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, we lots of wrestling. I've been writing about it a lot. Been waiting to talk about it a lot. I think I'm doing a live show after WrestleMania tonight, and I was thinking about it last night. I was like, damn, why couldn't I have done it night 1? I was like, why couldn't I have been invited for night 1? Now,
if it was night 1, you would have just not gone to sleep at all.
No, that's true. That's true. And probably the good thing I didn't do it. But to be fair, my adrenaline, this isn't like a joke. Like I actually I was kind of like hyped up, and I happened to have adrenaline in my soul. And, and like it was like because this is what WWE did for the first time in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, maybe. They just gave me great match, a real legitimate WrestleMania moment, a match that I will watch again and again and again because it's legitimately a special one to me. And then whatever the fuck that main event was, and then the real main event, which was, of course, a match I don't think anyone actually believed, even if we heard the rumors. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. And we also had, an amazing Ring of Honor show on Friday, which is amazing. We also had Stand and Deliver yesterday, which I thought was better than probably anyone expected because, you go into the 2.0 shows and you're like, but it was definitely better than anyone expected. And there was a lot of other wrestling that we'll kind of touch on. So I'm going to shut up so we can get to that.
No big news other than what happened on the shows. So let's get to the proper shows themselves. Starting off with the granddaddy of them all, right? The most stupendous night 1 of WrestleMania 38.
Damn it. I was trying to think of the most absurd show from WrestleMania weekend to toss in there, and I could not think of one.
We'll be talking the most important show that took place Saturday night.
JCW versus LA fights.
I was going to say the most important show that took place Saturday night, Unsanctioned Pro Mulligan. Here we go. Strap in. What were your thoughts on Cole Radrick versus Mike Bailey?
Didn't see it.
All right. I had other things to watch, and it was WrestleMania 38. What? So
even though I could have skipped the first hour.
That's true. I could have watched Unsanctioned Pro and watch this instead. I think Cole Radrick versus Mike Bailey actually went on as the Cody match was happening.
That's death to them. Sorry.
What is this? You doing a Canadian accent?
Canadian, yeah.
Oh, is that your Mike Bailey impression?
Oh, wow. Shit. Got me there.
All right, WrestleMania 38, night 1, or as they like to call it, Saturday.
They do. I do like that they're calling it WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday instead of night 1 and night 2.
Yeah, because it leaves them open to have a night 3, and that because night 3 would be ridiculous.
Please don't say that. Please don't.
Well,
say that.
You can make 140 ticket sales over the weekend.
We already have WrestleMania Raw and WrestleMania SmackDown and WrestleMania Backlash. So,
But WrestleMania is all over the place. Well, WrestleMania Saturday took place in Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium, 77,899 fans in attendance. Reported,
bullshit.
Which is reported. I believe WrestleTix as of before the show was something more like 60,000. So
I will say before we stop talking about the number of audience members, they were loud for whatever amount was in there. It was a great crowd. It was the best WWE crowd since I guess Mania last year counts, right? Because that was the first live show in a year.
And even then, that was 20,000 people.
Right. And I just think this was so much better. I just thought they made every moment feel like a moment, which is what you want out of these shows. And like, I walked away from this WrestleMania with 3 WrestleMania moments. Can't name the last time I had one WrestleMania moment on a show, on a WrestleMania, like legitimate. Kofi probably.
Yeah, and even then, that was what 2019.
Yeah, WrestleMania 35.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's years ago. The pandemic 2021. I don't remember anything from that. The only thing I remember right now is Drew McIntyre versus Big Show, and that was the main event of Raw. and that was the dark match of WrestleMania. Last year's WrestleMania. I remember Drew McIntyre going out and then getting beaten. That was fun.
I remember Roman pinning 2 people.
Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. That was a great match.
That was a moment. No, that's a moment. I'll give them that. That was absolutely a WrestleMania moment. But they had multiple on one show, and I don't know the last time they had multiple.
No, yeah. And I was speaking to the point about like the fans in attendance as well. Probably the biggest crowd since pre-pandemic, since that Kofi Mania WrestleMania.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No doubt about it, because they were half last year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is insane. 77,000 people. Well, 65,000 people. SummerSlam was also packed. Let me see if I can look up SummerSlam. That was what, 2022 still? No.
Yeah, but it didn't feel like what this did. It just, last night actually felt special. Like, it felt like WrestleMania. And I think the way, like, this is my best way to say it. For the first 3 matches that did not fucking matter to anyone on the face of the earth, the crowd was hot for them. Like, Drew McIntyre doing the damn, like, 3, 2, 1. They were so loud for that. Mm-hmm. It was in unison. It was perfect. And, like, I'm happy they ended the match with that, because it would have been dumb on their part if they didn't. Mm-hmm. But that was the moment I was like, okay, so we got a real crowd here. Like, this is the crowd. If they give a shit about this, they're gonna give a shit about, stuff we give a shit about. I do want to make a funny point after this when we get to the match, but yeah, just what a wild, crazy night, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's talk about it. Let's, I typically
adrenaline.
I was gonna start. Let's talk up with probably. I don't know what's the biggest news item, but if you're a WWE fan of 20, 30, 40 years, this is probably the biggest news item for you, definitely. Awesome. So the main event, there are obviously reports that this was going to be the main event, and everyone was sort of making fun of it for fair reason. It's a talking segment. Who gives a crap? Mm-hmm. But it's WWE. Why would they be doing a talking segment as the main event? It also makes sense for it to be the main event if it was just there, because you could argue that Stone Cold is one of the reasons they sold all these tickets.
Well, seeing the Seth mystery match didn't get announced till Monday, they're kind of dumb. The way they booked this show.
Yeah, that goes.
But it ended up being great, so I don't care.
Yeah, so this was, of course, the KO show. Kevin Owens bringing in Steve Austin, probably the loudest pop of the night. Easily, probably the last pop of the night. Rivals
easily.
I think Cody rivals him, which is crazy to say. But also, and I think also, like, I have so many thoughts on Cody and WWE. But one of them is that, like, there is nothing more emblematic than Cody Rhodes joining WWE and getting a similar pop to Steve Austin. And both of them get bigger pops than probably anyone else on this entire roster.
Without a shadow of doubt.
At least on this night. Yeah, just insane. But Steve Austin comes out. Kevin Owens says that he doesn't want to talk to him. He wants to fight him in a no-holds-barred match. Steve Austin asks the crowd. The crowd say, "Nah, we're okay." Just kidding. The crowd says, "Hell yeah." And the crowd comes out. Steve Austin goes for it, and they go for nearly 14 minutes. That's my Brian Alvarez impression. Nearly 14 minutes. Steve Austin, no holds barred match, wrestling. This guy is 57 years old.
You say 57, but you gotta add the fact he has no knees.
No knees.
No knees, no neck, no back.
No back. But what he does have is balls to go out there and wrestle in front of 77,000 people.
After 19 years.
And it's not just that. It's the fact that the amount of bumps he took. This man took a suplex onto the floor. Not on the padded floor. His first proper back bump of the night. He ran into the post and really sold that, and did all this other stuff.
He sold everything like death. Shout out to him.
First proper back bump of the night is a suplex onto the unpadded cement floor on the outside. His first bump. What? Jesus Christ.
I adored all of this, loved it all. Like, the match could have been, I thought the match was very entertaining, very good. Like, it was a perfect brawl.
Mm-hmm.
The match could have sucked ass and it still would have been amazing, right?
Yeah, it's Steve Austin wrestling, and you're like, holy crap!
Just my level of anxiety and excitement all mixed into one as that segment built of okay, they're just gonna talk, and you see Stone Cold come out with the braces on his knees, and you're like, okay, so they're gonna brawl.
He's wearing boots. You're like,
probably gonna brawl around the ring, and I wasn't convinced the match was happening until that goddamn bell rang. I truly did not think it was gonna happen until it rang, and then I was like, holy mother of God, it actually is happening.
Yeah.
I thought Kevin Owens. I think a lot of people are gonna absolutely give Stone Cold Steve Austin credit, as they should. He's 57 years old with his knees gone and everything, and he's out here taking bumps and having a great main event that's worthy of WrestleMania. But you don't do this without Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens did everything in his power, one, to make Stone Cold Steve Austin look great, but two, put on an entertaining match with them. They traded punches back and forth. Kevin took some big time bumps on the stage with double suplexes on the floor. They did, he had a stunner on Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring, which was a great moment. You kind of were like, okay, well, he's not going to win, but maybe he kicks out. And then ultimately, I kind of love the finish where he goes with the chair and he smashes it off the rope, hits himself in the head, then boom, stunner. It was, I already had I think I had my moment of holy shit, it actually happened earlier in the night. So this was just I never came back down from that level. Mm-hmm. Once we got to Austin, I was like, I don't know how to react. I don't know how to react. And it was just great. I don't think anyone could ask for more from this. I really don't.
Nah, this is it. Well,
the only thing you could have asked for is Stone Cold went back in time before Owen Hart dropped him on his neck.
Yeah. The only thing you would have asked for is is he back? No. Is he gonna wrestle again? Probably not. Is he on the level of Sting? Right now, pretty good.
I mean, Sting didn't take 19 years off.
Sting didn't take 19 years off. Sting only had one real injury, but Sting's also 10 years older than him.
Yeah, they're both old.
His selling was great.
Yeah,
and that's something Steve has always been great at.
Convinced me multiple times that he was actually dead.
Because it's just, I don't know. It's.
I mean, we're watching an all-time great do his damn thing.
Yeah, I know. But it is such a you look at that level of selling from an all-time great like Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you are just sitting there sort of man, what are they? what are they doing in the Performance Center, man? Like, this guy gets it. He's treating everything like death. He's treating like it feels like he's in a fight. It's just, God, man, you forget. You forget after not watching him. And even now, it's just how good he is at wrestling.
It was such a good fight.
And then
such a good fight.
I think I completely agree with you. Kevin Owens played his part very well. Yeah. And I was sitting there thinking while I was watching it, I was like, man, you know, Kevin Owens, his contract's up. He's thinking about maybe jumping to AEW. WWE's like, hey, you know, we're going to give you probably some more money. And Kevin Owens is like, well, I don't know if it's necessarily about the money for me. You know, I want to like wrestle these cool guys and wrestle people I've never wrestled before. And, you know, and then Nick Khan wakes up from not sleeping, wakes up out of his cryo chamber because he doesn't sleep. And Nick Khan just says, hey, man, you know, we're in Dallas for WrestleMania. You know, there's a certain Texan rattlesnake that we're trying to right now convince, hey, you know. And, you know, if I'm Kevin Owens and I'm being told, you know what, at WrestleMania, what if you wrestle Steve Austin? I take that deal. I'll take the more money and wrestle Steve Austin.
I mean, I'm just going to say it as someone that really loves AEW, what they've done for wrestling. Kevin Owens going to AEW, he was never going to top this. Never. No one was going to top this. No. You had the 19-year later final match of Stone Cold Steve Austin's career. And it won. It wasn't bad. It was really entertaining. It was a great fight. And two, you were there with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You knew, like, and he, you know, he played the heel part very well in that of like, just, it was so easy to get people to boo him because, I repeat, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
But it was perfect. And, you know, I'm so happy. That was actually my biggest takeaway from all this. I'm like, oh man, I'm just happy for Kevin. You know, like he probably wasn't going to get a WrestleMania main event otherwise, even if he was, you know, even if he's a world champion again, which I could see happening.
I mean, we talked about it. We said that maybe it would just be like a match against Seth Rollins in some capacity.
Yeah, if you trust Kevin Owens to do this, you can easily trust him to be your world champion at any time. You know. Just saying. And whenever that second title is free, because that will happen, anyone that thinks those things are staying together, they're nuts. I think Kevin's definitely he should have a title reign within the next year or two, because of the work he did, really building this by himself. You know, he did build it by himself. We're going to talk about two matches where guy had to build it by himself, and it ended up being worth the moments that we got here. Stone Cold just, you know, hitting the stunner, hitting Owens twice with the stunner, and kind of, you know, drinking the beer throughout the match absolutely popped me every time. I was like, this is just wild.
It's like it's like it's such a wild idea of just, I'm gonna drink a beer, multiple beers throughout the night. I don't know. I was like, why are you doing this? Seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah,
this isn't cardio.
He was trying to numb the pain that was about to happen.
Is the beer that light that it's practically water?
It's funny because when he was doing the first, you know, stopping the mud hole and he was going slow, I was like, oh boy, this might be bad. And then, like, he just was like, okay, I'm done with counting with the crowd. And then he just started doing it. And I was like, okay, all right, we're locked in now. We're ready to go. I got a little scared that he was going to try to do the spot he did with The Rock so Kevin was laying on the announce table. I thought he was going to try to do the elbow off the barricade like he did once upon a time. And I was like, please don't do that. You don't need to do that. I mean, think about what Stone Cold did. He kicked, he punched, hit 2 suplexes and stunners. That's all he had to do.
Yeah. Stomp a mud hole, drink a beer, bunch of beer.
You don't have to do anything when you get it, right? You don't have to do the flips. And this is something, you know, I'm going to sound like the old guy here. I'm not. We're going to talk about like 17 other matches from this weekend alone that had the complete opposite that I liked. But when you get it, when you have the connection with the crowd, but when you get it, you can do the most simplest form of wrestling, and everyone's gonna eat it up. And that's what I think that's the disconnect with some. It's like you need, first of all, you need that connection for it to work. But once you get that connection, you don't need the flips, you don't need the big moves. You just need fists, a good opponent, and the story of the match, which was can Stone Cold go? And boy, oh boy, could he go one more time. He wasn't going to come back unless he could prove it.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to come back unless he could give a match that was worth it. And unlike Shawn Michaels, unlike Goldberg, Stone Cold Steve Austin walked in there and had one more great match, one more great WrestleMania moment. And it's one that I don't think anyone will ever forget. That's a WrestleMania moment right there.
Mm-hmm. I think what you just said was almost the exact same thing Cody said after his match in like one of those WWE videos where he talked about like he said specifically that like it's 2022, every wrestler can do every wrestling move, but it's not about that. If everyone can do the wrestling moves, then it's about the crowd connection. It's about what you can do to get the crowd into you. Everyone can. If Cash Wheeler can do a freaking 450 splash, there's a reason he doesn't do it. It's because he doesn't need to for his thing to get the crowd into him wrestling. He doesn't need to do a 450 splash. All these wrestlers can do all this stuff. They're training all the time. They're performance center. They're doing everything, and everybody can do everything at any point in time. But it's not about that. It's about that crowd connection. And Steve Austin has it. Do you? I want to be the conscientious.
Oh yeah.
I want to be the devil's advocate. Is it at all a bad idea that Kevin Owens didn't win, or is it does not matter because it's the main event against Steve Austin?
Doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't matter. One, he got the little like, oh, I have a bad back thing in there, so like. There you go.
He defended himself. Yeah.
Now he's just gonna be like, I had a bad back going into it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know we were gonna fight around the building. That's your getaway. But he doesn't even need a getaway. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
2 stunners.
You have to remember, Kevin Owens lost in like a minute to Goldberg once upon a time. That didn't ruin him.
Mm-hmm.
So look at him now. Kevin Owens is kind of like one of the few people on this roster that I feel you can put him through all this shit and he's still going to come back and be a popular act and all that stuff. Like we've seen it time and time again. Kevin Owens spent pretty much a year doing nothing and he was still one of the most over people on the roster because he's Kevin Owens. He just has a natural connection. And I'm telling you, he deserves another title reign.
Yeah.
I think where he's not connected to someone else. I loved him in Jericho stuff, but he deserves the title reign where it's just him. He can shine. But they had the trust in him to deliver, and he did that.
Do you think this is Steve Austin's last match?
Yeah, I do. I think he wanted to retire in Dallas, Texas. That was kind of the little story he told before. My first match was in Dallas, Texas. My last match could be in Dallas, Texas. And I think that's kind of like, okay, as long as I could deliver, because he didn't want to come back unless he could deliver one more match. He went through a lot to deliver one more match in this, but I don't think so. It's not like he probably needs the money. Probably got paid a lot of money, but he definitely doesn't need the money. I don't think. I think this was just kind of the perfect situation for them, where one, they could convince him to, they had a guy that was doing a stunner that could easily be hated, that could, go toe to toe with him. He's not nearly as good as Stone Cold on the mic, but he's a really good mic guy. Probably the best they have right now, truthfully, in the entire company. If I was to think about it, I'm not going to sit here and think about every person they have in the company, but I think it was just a perfect situation where everything lined up, and it was perfect, right?
Yeah,
we watched it; it was perfect.
And then next year, at in LA, the SoFi Stadium, we'll probably get Dwayne to show up as well, and that will be also very, very good, I have to imagine. Speaking of crowd connection, let's talk about the next match. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, SmackDown Women's title match. What'd you think? Can I say something? I was kind of into it in the sense that it was Charlotte Flair. I don't know what it is about her, but recently what honestly, that's kind of like what Charlotte Flair's best matches are. Charlotte Flair's best matches are always matches that feel like they are on the verge of falling apart. And that they're always like, they're just, it feels like dumb jock wrestling with Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like when I watch Charlotte Flair matches. I also think that this was probably Ronda's best match since returning, easily.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
And I would maybe say best in her career, maybe.
I will, based off of my memory, I don't know if I'd have it better than
best singles match at least.
I liked her first one with Charlotte that she had at Survivor Series, from what I remember. I liked her match with Sasha too.
That was also very good,
from what I remember. So I'd probably still have those two, but this was pretty good.
Do we ever get that Becky Ronda singles match?
Nope. We did not, so I didn't have to think about that one.
What'd you think of the match? I think, I will admit, I based on cage match alone, I'm higher than other people.
I think one, it suffered. It suffered from the spot it was in.
Yeah,
it got the dead spot after probably being the WrestleMania main event until like Monday. It got the dead spot, so that was tough. Just a terrible sandwich situation for them. Charlotte, I don't know what kind of wrestler she is, because sometimes she's like good.
Yeah.
But other times I'm like, I've never seen someone regress as much as Charlotte Flair. Like how do you do a moonsault in every single one of your matches and never fail to miss? It's incredible. And the poor announcers have to be like, oh, she didn't get that one. She didn't get that one. I watched her float over her. Just like Charlotte bothers me. Like
the moonsault gets worse every match she does.
Every single match. I've never seen someone regress like this. And I thought Ronda, played her part very well.
Yeah.
I think she should have won. I think the finish was, terrible. Thank God this wasn't the WrestleMania main event. Because oh boy, that would have stunk. I could see them do the rematch on like an episode of SmackDown though for Fox. I could see that happen.
It'd be WrestleMania Backlash, baby.
Great, awesome, lovely. Yeah, I guess so. But the match was fine. I mean, I was on such a high. I did not remember, like, this match was just like happening. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, I'm completely high. Cage match has it at like 5.57, which what?
Well, it's not that bad.
Well, that's they're basically saying it's like a 2.5, 2.75 stars. I think.
I definitely don't think it was that bad.
Yeah, no, I thought I enjoyed it. I'm like,
when I got into it, like, so I saw the moonsault. I was like, what the fuck? But I really got into it after that.
To me, it's just dumb jock wrestling. It killed in the spot it was in, but it's just dumb jock wrestling. These people, like Charlotte's Flair's best matches. You go back to the Sasha feud, all the way back to the 2016 Sasha feud. Her best matches are ones that are constantly not falling apart, but they feel like she is on the verge of just killing her opponent. Like, she is so bad at what she's doing in terms of safety that she's just like feels like she's dropping people on their heads and just wrecking people and like hitting them. Like, it all looks as legit as possible and looks terrifying, and I don't want to take any of her spots except the moonsault. I'll take the moonsault all day. That's
pillow.
I'll take that
pillow salt.
Yeah,
because she lands as if there's a pillow in between the opponent and her, even though there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so sick of Charlotte that like I don't care. Like I wasn't gonna. I barely cared about this match going into it, and after what happened before that, back to back, I was like, I really don't care now.
It's such WWE. It's the problem with WWE is that they think Charlotte Flair is like the big thing, and they also think. I mean, to be fair, Ronda, it's Ronda, but also think Ronda is but it's second run Ronda. It's not first run Ronda.
Yeah,
all of the mystique. I mean, just look at any of the booking, any of the star power of Ronda here. Any of the mystique of Ronda Rousey is gone because she's in her second run.
You can say mystique, but hell, there's the missing part that is Becky Lynch. That was what made half of the mystique so good in the first run, is like the build to that match, which started, at Evolution, I think, kind of. It was slightly teased. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we never got that singles match, and I just never felt this was a natural fit. And I mean, they went out there and had a better match than I think anyone expected. So
yeah, I mean, the build was crap, and they were able to have a decently good clusterfuck of a match. That's what I would describe it. Let's move on to next match. Seth Rollins, he comes out with a bunch of children for some reason. He comes out to the ring. Lights.
Whoa. He is very good at this ridiculous role. It's terrifying that he's good at this, but he's very good at this. I want to give him that credit. And I want to give the credit of building the match all by yourself. Just by, being kind of insane and being like, I need my WrestleMania moment. I need it. I need my match. And, he fails and fails and fails. And then he's like, oh, Vince is going to fire me. And then Vince is like, why don't you just ask? Like, you're one of our biggest stars.
I like how Vince big mans him and just like, you freaking idiot. Well, you could have just asked me.
Classic Vince big man and people. And then
I also, real quickly, I'm just thinking about it. I like the idea. It is like big timing Seth Rollins and being like, you could have just asked me, but it's also like establishing
Seth Rollins' character.
Well, it's also I'm thinking of like how much Cody has to do with it and Seth Rollins and Vince or whatever the storyline of this all is. Because what it also does is establish Vince as the booker in a weird way,
which is true. It works in a number of ways, like this match. I think it all worked out perfectly.
So Seth Rollins is sitting there in the ring. He's like, "Where? Come on, get out of here! Where are you?"
And it's just like, oh,
lights.
The crowd was buzzing. Okay, the crowd was buzzing because they're like, "Is it him?"
The crowd was a lit fuse that was going all the way to a bomb. Then the fuse lit up even more in the ring with the fireworks. Go down the ramp, shoot fireworks all over the place, and then
they hit the. They hit the. I can't believe they did it.
You're right.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
The thing that I can't believe they had to have done it. Obviously,
bat, adrenaline in my soul. Holy fuck, it's Cody Rhodes. That was me.
Do it all to get them off their feet.
He did it. He got them off their feet.
The crowd was here. And
the way, I need to give them credit for this because, they can do terrible production a lot of the time. But the commentators said nothing. They said zero, zilch, nothing. They just let you feel the moment. And then the way they go up the ramp, up into like Cody just rising. And I'm like, shit, this guy feels like biggest motherfucker around. Like this, he feels like he's on the Roman Reigns level, the Brock Lesnar level. I mean, we were saying it. He might have had the loudest reaction with Stone Cold Steve Austin of all people. He had that reaction. He felt like the biggest star in the building. And that's really his story, though.
Yeah.
He left after WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. In Dallas, it's exact same place. He left his Stardust, a broken down man who had no shot of winning the world title in WWE. He left.
People called him a mid-carder, and I was like, bro, he's like a low mid-carder at best. The man was stardust.
He got his ass out of there. He rebuilt himself. He became the American Nightmare. He went to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He went to Ring of Honor. He became Ring of Honor World Champion. He became MWA Champion. Is it World Champion? World's Champion.
All
the
of them.
MWA World's Champion. He started a goddamn company to compete against WWE just for him to turn it all around and walk back into the place he left. 10 times the star he was when he originally left.
Probably 10 times the money, too.
Probably 10 times the money. And he walks in as the biggest motherfucker around.
Yeah.
Music, logo, everything.
This shitty ass logo. I love it.
I don't even hate the logo if it wasn't on his fucking neck, but it's on his neck. So it's like, man, come on.
If it was any other spot on his body, you know?
Yeah. Or just, not on his body at all. Like,
a big old back tat.
But he bet, he bet on himself. He walks in, has this entrance where I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is a WrestleMania moment. This right here. And the way, again, the commentary team, which often can suck, they sold this match when they got to the match, saying this is Dusty's top disciple. Legitimately, that's what Seth Rollins was. He was the first NXT champion, Dusty's NXT champion. Against Dusty's baby boy. And it's like, for me, I was like, when you think about it that way, it's like, man, and the way they interacted when Cody got into the ring originally, and I think you said this in the Discord of how, like, after that first eruption of just holy shit, he's here, the
WWE crowd knew that this was a big moment. They knew that seen Cody Rhodes come back from AEW, not only Stardust
in full AEW form,
not smoke and mirrors Cody Rhodes, in the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, coming back in that fashion. They knew there was a big deal, but then the crowd died. The crowd died.
But the crowd died in a good way. Like there's a good way of dying and there's a bad way of dying.
Right.
There's the Charlotte versus Ronda way of dying, where they're just dead and they just can't get back into it. And then there's the dying of, okay, we had that big moment. We're kind of,
they're tired.
We're tired, but can they get it back? And they got it back.
And you saw in real time Cody Rhodes win over the WWE fan base.
Yeah. And
what did he do? How did he do that? And how did he win them over? By fucking wrestling, baby.
Yeah. I already know I'm the high guy on this compared to literally everyone on Twitter. Literally everyone I've seen. I don't care.
You're wearing the shirt. You're wearing the shirt, for God's sake.
I'm wearing the shirt.
Are you gonna get the Pharaoh shirt?
No. 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 There was just something watching this match, from start to finish. I was like, this is why I watch professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like it just gave me a feeling of like, it was one of those feelings where I was like, oh, I'm a kid again. Like, this is just cool. This is awesome. Like, I'm watching this and I'm biting on every near fall, on every pedigree moment, and all the shebang. Like when Seth, does the power bomb into the freaking barricade. I'm like, oh, he's dead. Cody got his ass kicked in this, by the way. He had red marks everywhere.
His forehead. I was like, the man was like as close to bleeding as he could have been.
I was like, did Seth just like go into business for himself? Like what the hell happened?
Seth like kicked him in the face or like stomped him.
And again, Seth, I gotta give credit to Seth because he played the entire role up into the match itself. He played it perfectly. And kind of just crazy hearing them say the American Nightmare here on WWE television. I'm like, well, what is happening? But I mean, he has the one comment of, welcome back to the big leagues, kid, which I didn't think was a big deal. I think it was a comment that was always going to happen, right?
Well, that was the only comment. Not a single AEW words.
No,
didn't even reference the company. Just said he was gone for 6 years over and over again. Yeah. That I would have expected. I would have bet money that Corey Graves would have said a Forbidden Door reference. Didn't say that.
No, I think they did it perfectly.
The only thing we got was Seth lightly alluding to it by saying welcome back to the big leagues, or whatever,
which is like something Seth has done multiple times to multiple wrestlers in the last 6 years.
Yeah, it's something he said to people.
He said it to Will Ospreay. He says it to everyone, and I don't know. The match was like kind of just like a dream for me. Like Cody, it's funny because 4 or 5 months ago we were like, all right, Cody, like who cares? Just go heel. Just change it up. This guy said, I'm not going to change heel. I'm just going to go somewhere else and be a bigger baby face, and you're going to like it. And that's what he did. I loved the match. Absolutely adored the match. I thought they, everyone, I saw people complain like, oh, he did so many crossroads, way to nuke the move. I was like, I don't give a shit. This is the Cody way. This is the Cody Rhodes way.
It's WWE.
It's WWE, but this is the Cody Rhodes way. He hits crossroads like it's nobody's business.
It's also like, in Cody Rhodes and AEW, any big match Cody, everyone's kicking out of that first crossroads. That's what big match Cody is.
Right. Well, that's what big match wrestling is nowadays. Anyways, like
that's also true.
It's very rare you hit your move once and it's over. And when he hit the bionic elbow, I mean, come on. I knew it was gonna come, but I was like, come on. That's everything I wanted. And then he ultimately wins it with 3 crossroads to Seth Rollins, and it was just perfect. Of course, they released an interview after Variety, I believe, released it right when his entrance hit. And all the news sites were on that while he was doing his damn thing in there. And some of it was pretty telling, and I think the biggest thing was like he went to Nick Khan, Bruce Pritchard, and Vince McMahon. Is like, listen, I'm the best wrestler in the world. Does anyone actually believe Cody Rhodes is the best wrestler in the world? No. But when it comes to selling yourself as something like that, Cody Rhodes is very good at that. He always has been, he always will be. He can sell himself to an audience and he will make it work. That's something he really learned when he left.
Yeah.
Is that he can make it work.
He has to sell the idea that, hey, Vince, Bruce, Nick.
Yeah.
Get out of your cryo chamber. I know what I'm doing. Let me do what has worked. Like I was away for 6 years and built it up to this point. I know what to do. I know how to present yourself. I know what to do. Look at the other company and look at all the stars that I helped make over there.
Yep.
I know what I'm doing, man. Trust me. And that's a lot of trust that they have to give this guy.
And I definitely think people are going to be like, oh, Cody's not that big of a star, blah, blah. It's undeniable now.
You hear that pop? What are you talking about?
Like no one, if you had any doubt how Cody could come back one night, I don't care what happens after this, because let's be honest, not all of us are going to really see that on a week-to-week basis. He had the moment. He proved that he's that star. I don't know how anyone in WWE sees that and says, oh, you know what, we're gonna send you the US title picture. No, I don't. I just, at least for these first couple months, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I think there's a plan in motion with Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have an entire,
I don't think Cody would have signed if there was not a plan.
No, he probably said, I need you to plan me this.
Give me a year.
This and this.
What's a year? Give me a year.
Yeah. And he probably has options to get out of it. There's probably a lot in that contract. We do know he will be executive producing his father's biography episode
for
on A&E, which is cool. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Because I liked those, actually. I thought the A&E series were pretty good, and it's good to have Cody on for the Dusty stuff, and now we get to see a lot more Dusty stuff. I already noticed. I mean, they started releasing T-shirts for him this week, which could have given away, what's happening here, but it was perfect. You couldn't have made all of that work better. I really don't think you could have. It was just, and I'm happy they saved the surprise. By the way,
yeah,
they didn't waste it on Raw. That
Jacksonville Raw, Madison Square Garden Raw.
That maybe like 100,000 more people watched because of it. No, you waited for WrestleMania, where if you're gonna have the biggest crowd possible watching your show, it's there, no matter what.
Including in that press release from Cody Rhodes, it also says that he's inked a multi-year deal. Doesn't say how many years or anything. I'm sure news outlets are working hard to figure out what the details of the contract are. I wouldn't be surprised if he has that 6-month Rey Mysterio clause of like, hey, if I don't like you in 6 months, I'm leaving. I'm sure he's got pitched a year and all this other jazz. But to go into the idea, before we talk, about other things, it's this entire match was very emblematic of what WWE should be right now. Letting these wrestlers feel huge, having them go out and wrestle really good matches and win over the audience, and trusting the wrestlers to do so. And having the commentary team call it down the middle. I thought the commentary team was great in this match.
Yeah, this is the best.
They threw jokes out the room.
This is the best I've heard them in a long time. It's the best, I think. I forget Jimmy Smith.
Yeah,
I think it's the best match Jimmy Smith has ever called. I've never really been a big fan of his, but I thought he was perfect here too.
Yeah, it's such this. Imagine, Scotty.
I made a tweet about this. I need to find it.
WWE could have been like this for the past decade. They could still be like this, and they have all the fucking money in the world to be like this. And they
can do this at any moment.
They have thrown billions, I'll say, of dollars out the window by not being this. Yeah. Now, for the WWE audience, we'll have to properly see, based on television ratings and stuff, if this Cody character and this Cody ideal of wrestling and everything does work for the WWE audience, or is the audience too sports entertained at this point? That is going to be a real test. Cody is a guy that I don't want to put all of the pressure on him, but this guy has the chance to rewrite and redirect wrestling for this company. If he's a money mover.
Done it once.
If he's a money mover, if he sells the tickets, sells the merch, does all this other stuff, if he's able to get over other talent and be booked very well and looked all this stuff, this guy will change wrestling for this company and will make this stuff more important. There should be people flying back and forth. This isn't going to be the last AEW guy over here.
Yeah.
I think, bring in Preston Vance. Let's do it. There's going to be other people that are going to be over here. There's going to be tons of people over here. Now you're going to have AEW Nightmare Factory students want to go up the NXT system too. This has a lot of potential. Lot of potential, and I'm very interested to see how the WWE universe, the audience, the sports entertainers, that fan base who we have been talking past each other for a decade now, I wonder if they will now have to be taught wrestling again, and will they hear it? That's the question. Because they've been fucking flushing viewers down the drain for years. Let's bring them back. Let's enjoy all wrestling, and I don't want to sit down and hate watch a television product.
Yeah. I think you knocked it on the head. They can do this whenever they want to. They can. It's just a matter of them wanting to, and when I say them, I mean Vincent Kennedy McMahon letting his talent be talent.
Yeah.
They don't always get to be talent. And now, they don't get to be talent. Roman Reigns gets to be talent, but that's it. That's it. No one else gets to be talent.
Brock gets to be
Brock
talent
too, but Brock's a different being in terms of just who Brock is.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about the talent that's there every single day, it's Roman Reigns, maybe Becky Lynch, maybe, but not even Becky Lynch, because they made her turn heel when she came back. There is a certain level of importance to this outside of just Cody showing up, and it is that AEW connection of, well, if you book Cody to be, WWE champion in the next 3 or 4 months, and he has a big reign, and he's kind of the guy on Raw, because that seems like where we're going.
Yep.
Based off of just my initial reaction, it sure feels like Cody's going to be, the face of Raw. While, Roman's the face of SmackDown, because, you give USA Network the hot commodity here. You give Fox Ronda and Roman, just like they want.
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone can be a little bit happier. As much as people want to say, "Oh, Cody Rhodes isn't a big deal," you saw the tide turn a little bit last night on social media with AEW fans kind of be like, Cody sucks and we don't need him. Yeah. No, you might not need him anymore because you have, the biggest and best roster in professional wrestling.
You signed,
but you did need him.
You
needed him.
The tweets going around that Vince basically traded 17 people away just to get Cody Rhodes.
That is funny.
Or whatever the total amount was.
But Cody Rhodes is the reason AEW's first year, one of the main reasons AEW's first year was so good. He was the ace. That's what he was.
People forget. I feel like people forget that. Because I get it. His last 6 months, 9 months, whatever it was,
not great.
Sucked ass.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were trash. And I said that I don't even know if the show started yet, but I said past year have been terrible. Like, it made me forget that I enjoyed Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that he can do this and that he can have that connection. And I think, the booking himself into a corner of never winning the world title probably actually did hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because think of the match, Cody versus Kenny, that you just kind of gave up there booking wise.
Yeah.
Like,
it separated. It was a good idea for early AEW.
Yeah.
But as it went along, it was like, whoa, what else can we do with this guy?
People wanted Cody to get that title. I think that one point they would have loved to see him be AEW world champion.
The entire time, people were just saying, well, he'll turn heel and then go and become AEW champion.
It never happened. He left. Yeah. And I just want to say before we move on, because I think we've talked about Cody enough. Cody's post-match interview that he had on socials and whatnot, was great. It was great. He, you knew he was going to be emotional about this because, one, he probably didn't know if it was the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
2, it's a big moment of, just coming back where, he started. People forget Cody Rhodes didn't do anything wrestling-wise before WWE. He walked in like 18 years old.
Yeah.
Got his training there. He didn't have any outside. He wasn't indie darling. He was Dusty Rhodes' kid.
He was tag team partners of Hardcore Holly.
Hardcore Holly, never forget it. That was his debut. He was part of Legacy. There's a big match you got right there. Him and Randy. That's a big match.
And they're both on Raw.
As much as people can be, and I think Randy's actually having like a career renaissance right now, just being in a tag team. Like, he's in great matches consistently. But that's a big match you have now. You have a lot of big matches with Cody Rhodes. But he comes back and his interview where he's like, now I can win the big one. That's what I always wanted to do, was win the big one. You can win this title and this title, but there's a big one. That's what Brock and Roman are fighting for tomorrow. I want to win that big one. And I think the moment he wins that big one will be another moment, because I think I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to say, I think Cody Rhodes gets one of the top titles in the next couple of months. I don't think I think he could beat Roman for one of them. I really do.
I do think I think he should.
I think he should. I think they should do the WWE title match. He should win that from Roman. I think that's what they do. I think if they want to, they can keep the Universal title on him. I don't really give a shit. Beating Roman's beating Roman. It doesn't matter what title it's for. And I think they want to split the titles back up, which is why I'm saying just do it for the WWE title. But I think he should, and it'll be a great moment, big moment, and it's everything that I think Cody has always wanted. This is what he's always wanted. He was seen as a future world champion when he was in WWE once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
Then that kind of fell out. He became Stardust, and he never was, put in a big spot again. He leaves again, does all that shit. Now he's back.
Yep.
And I think it's coming. And I think for the first time in a long time, there's something legitimately exciting about WWE moving forward.
He's got plenty of people to wrestle against. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Bullet Club connection, weird way.
Oh.
Kevin Owens, the man that introduced him to the Young Bucks.
Finn Balor,
Bullet Club as well.
There's a lot of people. I mean, let's
Akira Tozawa,
Roman Reigns,
Rey Mysterio, All Out connection, All In connection.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true. That's true. Roman Reigns, probably not Brock.
Reggie,
McIntyre,
Cody Rhodes loves Circus Soleil.
Anyways, moving on.
Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Title match. Match of the show. Pretty
good, huh?
Pretty.
I need to rewatch this because
good.
I don't know what happened, but I had to do something, so I missed the first I missed a nice couple minute chunk, and I still thought it was fantastic. The reason I need to rewatch it is because everyone's saying it's so I saw some people say it's the best women's WWE women's match since I think someone said Asuka and Ember, which is I don't think is necessarily true off the top of my head. I think there's been a lot of great women's matches.
I mean, it's probably the best women's match since the last WrestleMania of Bianca Belair.
Right. Yeah. What I do know before, I rewatch this, I don't know when I'm going to rewatch this, but I'm going to rewatch it because I, again, missed a couple minutes and I still, walked out of it saying, oh, fuck, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
It probably is the match of the show. I mean, I took in the entire Cody Seth Rollins thing. I didn't miss a single second of that. I was just locked in, didn't touch my laptop, didn't touch anything. I was just just gotta experience this. I gotta do that again for this. But yeah, it was phenomenal. And let's just say it like it is, everybody. Bianca Belair is one of the best in the world. She is. She's had two and don't get me wrong, it takes an opponent too. But she's had back-to-back WrestleMania matches where you could probably say she had the best two matches at WrestleMania. I don't think anything's topping it today. I'm going to be very honest with everybody. And I thought it was the best match last year. I thought it was better than the triple threat the next night. Everything lived up to it. Yeah, and I think Bianca Belair, I don't know if they know this, but she is an amazing talent that is developed into a fantastic professional wrestler. And she's wrestled Sasha Banks last year. I think most people agree Sasha Banks is probably, if not the, top 3 women's wrestler in the U.S.
If you look at the analytics, she's the top wrestler in that company.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's probably the best when it comes to in-ring, especially with all the people who've left, too. That's
very much true.
I mean, you lose Daniel Bryan. Come on. I mean, you lose one of the best wrestlers, and AJ Styles is not what he once was. So, yeah, you have that match with Sasha, but then you have this match with Becky, which I think is really when I said, okay, she's one of the best. She is one of the best wrestlers in the world because Becky is someone that can be hit or miss. I like Becky matches. Her matches with Charlotte are usually pretty good. I mean, her match at Evolution was great. But Becky doesn't have the track record that a Sasha Banks has match wise. She's more of the character.
Yeah.
And I thought, these two lived up to the highest. Well, not really. I guess I didn't have as high expectations going in because everyone just thought of SummerSlam. And that was pretty much everyone booking in their head until last night. They actually had a good story going in. I thought the video they played before the match really helped kind of be like, hey, this is how we got here. And it was great because we didn't have to watch all of how we got there. But great match.
Do you think this match has redeemed SummerSlam for Bianca's character?
I do. I actually do. They did not do this on purpose. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
They did that moment and they just happened to be like, okay, well, this is the story we're going to go with. I'm sure Becky probably played a role in that, honestly, of like, listen, if you're going to do Ronda there, we have to have this match. We have to finish the story because, Becky seems like that kind of wrestler where she doesn't need to, and Becky hasn't lost the title since, or she hasn't not been champion in WWE since WrestleMania 35. Like she's been a champion since then, and every day that she's been active. So that plays a role. But I do think it redeemed Bianca Belair because when the match was over, you say, okay, this is one of the biggest stars they have. She had her moment, a WrestleMania moment, and it was great. It was just a great match. Fantastic.
Just a utterly fantastic match.
One of the best women's matches of the year.
Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think it's the best women's match since Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks' last WrestleMania. Yeah. The stuff they did here was very good. It wasn't perfect. There were things I didn't necessarily like. I'm not a huge fan of the Becky Lynch. I can't figure out what I'm going to do, so I'm going to have a meltdown in the ring. I hated the beginning of this match with after the whole SummerSlam debacle. Yeah. Bianca Belair goes to shake her hand. Why in kayfabe logic would you do the exact same thing that made you lose a title in 20 seconds in August of last year? Why in any kayfabe logic would you do that again? So I didn't like that.
I think that is the reason I probably checked out for a few minutes because of like that back to back. I was like, oh,
it's like, are you kidding me?
I was like,
why would you do that?
As someone that watches, like Stardom, Joshi, whatever, when you see like a heel not get the pin, they just kind of keep on it. Like they just go right to the next thing and like, okay, well, if I'm not going to win with that, I'll do this.
Yeah.
I can't stand oh my God, how did I not win? How did I not win? I don't know, maybe because you hit one freaking move. Like maybe that's how you didn't win. Like I understand you won the first time, but like no. I just it's not a Becky Lynch thing. This is a American wrestling thing. Like this is a very common thing of like, oh my God, how didn't I win? It's very common for heels that are kind of chicken shit to do. Yeah. And
But then it started. It's what you just said.
That was the bad moment, though.
Chicken shit heels would do that.
Yeah,
it's spread to all heels, and it's spread to baby faces.
Oh, when baby faces do it, I lose my mind. I'm like, really?
It's something that was just reserved for chicken shit heels, and now everyone does it.
Someone in the AEW does it, and it bothers.
Adam Cole. Oh, Adam Cole does it.
Adam Cole. Yeah, he did it this past.
He does it every time. He does it. It's that PC training. I'm like, get it out of your system. Go to the next move. God.
Adam Cole does it big time, which is bothersome. There's a lot of people that do it now. It's American wrestling thing. It's not just a NXT thing. I mean, it's just that like there's way too many wrestlers that do it, plain and simple. And this was probably, I mean, I had this in the match after it, like I have to rewatch this again because I checked out after the little complaining shit. Even though I, turned around and was like, oh, this great.
Yeah.
I had these two neck and neck, and I again acknowledge I'm the high guy in one of them because that was an experience. Like I'll never probably if I rewatch Cody versus Seth, I'm probably not going to feel the way I did watching it the first time. It's one of those like you just have to watch it live, and that's it. That's it. Yeah. I'll probably watch the entrance a million times. I already have, actually. I'm not gonna lie. They posted it on social. I was like, well, okay. But by the end, I mean, they had them in the palm of their hands, you know, and the finish of Becky going for the manhandle slam and Bianca doing a moonsault off of the bottom rope and just getting her up. I was like, man, she's great. She's great. Bianca's awesome. Don't mess her up again. Don't do it. You have a star. You have a star that isn't the 4 horsewoman for once.
Yeah. Who's now officially beaten 2 of them, I believe. I don't know. Remember if she actually ever beat Flair.
She beat Bayley.
She did beat Bayley. Did she ever beat Flair? It sounds like that might be WrestleMania next year. Is Flair versus Belair.
I don't think they've done that yet.
I'll look into it.
They did it once on Raw, but it was like it ended in DQ.
Yeah, and I don't remember if they did it in NXT. I remember when Flair was in there, Belair was also in NXT and had that famous "you don't even go here" line.
Yes,
but I don't know if she's ever like necessarily beaten.
Yeah, Bianca's a star, huh?
Yeah, no, that match was fantastic. Belair is great. Belair has been great. Personally, I don't necessarily think this maybe fixes SummerSlam completely. I think it's all about this follow-up to really have solved all those things.
She's probably gonna face Bayley.
It's the thing though that was annoying. It's just because it's the same thing that happened with, was it Bayley maybe, or maybe I don't think it was Sasha. I think it was just Bayley. The she's the EST, but we're gonna sow in seeds of doubt and the SummerSlam situation, the crying in the ring situation of Bayley. I think is what that was. It's just like I don't get that out of here. My Bianca doesn't do that shit.
No, just have her be cool because she is cool. Like just have her be natural. And that we're just talking about this with Cody and talent. Just let them be the talent they are. You don't have to go over the top with this shit. And now the other takeaway is now Becky can go back to her probable slow transition back to a babyface. That's what I'm guessing. Because all roads lead to Terminus.
I think that gets us to our next match.
No, one second. All roads lead to WrestleMania Hollywood, where you probably do Becky versus Ronda if she sticks around.
Becky versus Ronda. You just flip the main events.
And I think you could do Flair versus Belair probably too.
I think that's the move. They've wrestled like 3 times in singles matches where
or you can run back Belair versus Sasha. Sasha's Hollywood. She's very Hollywood. She's the most famous person in that company right now. That's not Brock Lesnar.
Nah, well, WWE doesn't see it that way. Even though all of the ratings...
Even though they played the damn video in the middle of the fucking WrestleMania, it's like, here's Sasha Banks. She's been in this and this and this and this, and she won an SB, and she's been on The Mandalorian, and she's in a tag team title match tomorrow.
And she has the highest ratings out of anyone on any of on any SmackDown person.
Yeah, by far. Not even close. She's your most popular star, but she's not Charlotte Flair.
She's on a Flair. We don't
have to talk about the rest of the show.
Well, I just quickly, Logan Paul and The Miz defeat the Mysterios. Logan Paul, very good. I don't like. I hate the man personally, but
I hate the guy. But
it's pretty good.
Pretty good. He did the Three Amigos. He had a nice frog splash.
Beautiful suplexes. Very
I was like, shit, this guy.
I think
he's good.
The guy can do moves very well. He has the idea of selling, but isn't there fully. Whatever.
I mean, this is his first match ever. I'm not gonna get.
And we're leading in the follow up is that we have the Miz and Logan Paul win, and the Miz out of nowhere for whatever fucking reason, which would have made sense for the Mysterios to win here, and then the Miz to backtrack Logan Paul. But no, the Miz destroys Logan Paul.
Rey Mysterio's so good.
Yeah.
By the way.
So what I'm saying is we'll probably see Logan Paul versus Miz at WrestleMania Backlash. But yes, the Rey Mysterio is amazing.
Yeah. Logan Paul, can't stand the guy, but when you're gonna do the celebrity shit, right?
Yep.
You need the celebrity to actually deliver, and that doesn't always happen. But WWE has been pretty lucky past 2 years. Bad Bunny did what he did. And Logan Paul, he looks the part. I mean, he wore wrestling attire, which I applauded. I was like, you could have just wore like sweatpants,
yeah,
and been like, really shitty of you, but you could have done that. But he wore attire, and that was cool.
Yeah.
And I give him credit. But yeah, Rey Mysterio is awesome, and Dominic Mysterio is there.
Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. I thought this was, pretty. I thought it was pretty good. Not too bad. Not too bad of a match. Drew McIntyre cut through 2 ropes with a sword after the match.
Yeah, I want that.
Don't know why.
I want the sword to go to hell.
Yeah, I think that's it for the sword.
Drew McIntyre is so much better than a sword, as you could tell by his fan reaction last night.
But he needs something. And that something's a sword.
He has a kilt. That's good enough for me.
And then the opening match of the Usos versus Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Poor Rick Boogs.
Yeah, I mean, this match is hard. Match fell apart for obvious reason. Rick Boogs tore his quadricep patella. Basically, he has to get surgery for it immediately. He's getting it today, apparently, according to Michael Cole from WWE. You knew from when it happened.
They were sponsored by Mike's Hard Lemonade,
and his knee wasn't hard enough, apparently. I shouldn't have said that. Cut that.
It's already in the show.
I can't edit it. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it became one on 2 handicap match, and it was what it was. But ultimately, slow start to WrestleMania, picks up quickly, and it's just
sure
great.
Did.
Are you hyped for night 2? I'm more hyped for night 2 now because of night 1.
You know what's funny?
Night 2 succeeded in that.
Wrestle 2 has a better card.
Wrestle 2
wrestling matches.
Wrestle 2
Wrestle 2 has better. It does have a better card of actual wrestling matches because you got Edge versus AJ, which I think should be pretty good. I'm not gonna say great like some people are saying. I don't expect it to be like a match of the year. Even though Edge still has it, I have no idea what this Hale character is going to be. So
Edge is just a little too indulgent sometimes.
I'm going to be that guy that says Edge isn't the problem for me. I don't know the last time AJ Styles had a great match. I'm going to keep saying it until he has a great match again. Hasn't had one in a long time.
In his defense, he's been in the tag team division of almost.
I can't think of it before that though.
Yeah.
Boneyard match doesn't fucking count, so don't even say it. So that's one. The tag team match is probably gonna rule because Randy and Riddle are good. Gable and Otis are good, and the Street Profits. I mean, what's his name's gonna fucking jump out of the ceiling, so that's always cool. Best frog splash of all time.
So you're saying Johnny Knoxville will be interesting to watch?
That's gonna be entertaining. Okay, yeah. I saw one of the writers for Countout put that on his like top 10 list of like matches to watch. I was like, you know what? You convinced me. You convinced me that I actually want to see this. It's probably gonna be insane, but Sami Zayn's very good at that insanity. Jackass is funny. So
yeah, it was Pat McAfee. Michael Brennan wrote that for Countout. You can go to countoutpod.com and read his article. I think honestly he nailed most of the matches on the head. I think most of the matches, if not all of them that I've seen, were must see. I think he was like, "Yep, that's must see."
And put Cody and Seth on there.
He did. He called it.
Nailed it.
Pat McAfee's gonna surprise people again. He's like, "Whoa, this guy's good."
Whoa, he's good. No shit, he's good. He's a former athlete who loves wrestling.
Like, this is also his like third match, I think. So yeah, third or fourth match.
Yeah, I mean he's 2 for 2, and I think Austin Theory is pretty competent to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah.
What else? What else besides the big one?
And then of course, New Day versus Ridge Holland Sheamus will be great.
Well, That'll lump in with those 3 that started off yesterday's show.
Yeah. But
there's something else. Oh, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
I thought you were talking about the women's tag team title 4-way.
I was trying to think of that, but I wanted to make it a joke and be like, "Oh, the main event."
That's WrestleMania night 1, Saturday. night one. We've been talking.
Yeah, we'll have our ice cold takes next week.
Yes, we will.
Maybe.
Supercard of Honor, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor took place on Friday night from Garland, Texas. Very good show.
Listen, just because of one match, this is my show of the weekend. I don't know.
That's
last
fair.
night was fucking awesome. Wrestlemania was great, but
let's talk about the show. Did you watch Hour One at all?
I watched. I believe they called 0 Hour. They changed it from Hour One.
No, they on Cage Match they have
on Cage Match is Hour One, but they called it 0 Hour.
Oh, that's what AEW calls it, I think.
Yeah, that's the AEW way, baby.
Yeah. So Hour One is.
I got some takes about Hour One.
Then go ahead. Let's talk about Hour One. Colt Cabana versus Blake Christian.
That was fun. That was cool. Seeing Colt back in Ring of Honor is fine. That was not my take. Next.
Colt Cabana, very good match. You're right, completely right. It was fun to see Colt Cabana again. It feels like I haven't seen him in years.
By the way, Ian Riccaboni and Caprice still being the team. Fuck yeah. I was so happy about that. I was like, please don't get rid of them. If you got rid of Ian Riccaboni, I was just going to be like, Tony Khan, you were a mistake.
Blake Christian in one day wrestled for Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan. And
he didn't wrestle for New Japan.
Yeah, Lone Star Shootout, didn't he?
No, he did not wrestle Jonah unless they did it after.
They did it as a dark match?
So no, they Kevin Kelly said afterwards they were doing matches tapings.
Oh, then that's probably what it was.
Yeah,
because he tweeted it out. That's where I'm getting it from.
Okay, because originally Blake Christian versus Jonah was scheduled, and then it just didn't happen on the live show, and I was like,
interesting.
The hell, I was actually interested in that.
AQA versus Miranda Alizé. I don't know, man. I don't. Everyone's been saying
Tony Khan in women's wrestling just doesn't. It doesn't click. It just doesn't click.
I don't know.
Miranda Alizé wasn't very good at this.
Miranda Alizé is hit or miss.
Yeah.
AQA
is still very new.
She's
not Roxy. I'll tell you that.
No. AKA.
I miss Roxy.
Can I be honest about AKA for a second?
She's not very good.
She's not that very good, and I think she is a prospect, but like all I've seen from her is that she has a wicked shooting star press. I have not seen anything that I'd be like, I have to sign her.
No, I got you.
I would have signed Roxy easily before AQA. I would not have signed AQA.
Well, Roxy's very good.
There's so many other. Also, by the way, there's so many other women in Ring of Honor that he could have picked up. Instead, we picked up AQA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But also, the theme throughout the night, anyone that was signed to AEW, and if it was an AEW wrestler signed versus Ring of Honor person, anyone signed to AEW won. So that's match number 2 where an AEW signed person joins.
Come on now.
I know, but I
didn't think it was a big deal.
It's not it's the thing. It's like,
trust me, I'm gonna attack your boy later, so it doesn't matter.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about when we get out of it. 0-1, hour 1, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Shinobi Shadow Squad, Eli Ice Summon World Famous CB against 2 people that Tully Blanchard choose. Tully Blanchard Enterprises have picked up the Gates of Agony, Toa Leona, who we've seen in AEW Dark before, and Khan, someone that you and I are super high on.
I got hyped.
I was like, oh my god, it's
Khan. These two are going to be something, I'm pretty sure. Like they have the look, obviously. I mean, Khan looks like $1 million, but what's his name? Toa
Leona.
Yeah, Toa just looks like the Samoan monster.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so this is just a team of.
He's definitely got an Umaga feel to him.
He does. He also did the spike. So shout out to him.
It helps.
Yeah.
Seems like he's trying to do something on purpose.
I like the Tully Blanchard Enterprises for Ring of Honor moving forward.
Yes.
I like the idea.
In the same font as the Free Enterprises Tully Ring of Honor show.
Yes, and I like the trio he's got here.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's just like very different from most trios we see.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Eli Isom being in a squash match?
Listen, I was just happy he was on the show. I saw he got announced. I was like, hey, Eli, so they got crushed. Cheeseburger did too, but it's fine.
Yeah, but
listen. Once upon a time, you and me believed Eli Isom had a future.
I still do.
Ring of Honor got sold. He's never touching Ring of Honor World Title gold. Maybe television.
No, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore about the television title.
I don't think anyone's touching that anymore.
I know. It's disappointing.
Dun, 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 dun.
The Eli Isom treatment is part of my disappointment. And then Dalton Castle versus Joe Hendry.
This sucked. This sucked. Joe
Hendry's I thought it was bad. Fine. Joe Hendry's
bad.
I think
Hendry's ass. People like him. He eats 2 packs of ass.
I think this is Joe Hendry's best.
Joe Hendry's
match I've ever seen.
To me, the opposite of LA Knight. LA Knight's got like all this charisma, and he can back it up in the ring, and he can get over the fucking word yeah. But Joe Hendry, just fucking get off my screen.
The only positive I've ever heard about Joe Hendry is he has a good entrance.
Oh, really? I heard he had he sings or something. That's about it.
For ICW and all those Europe shows and stuff, he would his entrance would always be something different, and he would be singing his own entrance theme for every different show, and always be like a parody of some other song. So that was it. That was his entrance. That was the only positive I've ever heard about Joe Hendry.
Nice trash. Just get the fuck out of here. I tweeted.
I do think. To be fair, I do think this was his best match I've ever seen.
Tells you all you need to know about this match, or him. It tells you all you need to know about him. Joe Hendry, yeah, great. Dalton Castle, huh?
Well,
I didn't think he was gonna be around.
Nor the baby chicks.
Another thing I tweeted out, or said, maybe I didn't tweet it out. Maybe I just said it in the wrestling diary thing that I'm doing for Fight Game Media. But I said, hey, remember when Dalton Castle was relevant? Cody Rhodes was Ring of Honor World Champion. Mm-hmm. Now he's in WWE. Yeah. That's how long he's been since Dalton Castle was popular or good. He's had a lot of injuries. He got broken down.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not his fault. But man, he was popular back then.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen. Mm-hmm. The mighty don't kneel. That's a wrestling reference.
That is true. Supercard of Honor proper show. Let's get to it. So my whole thing about Ring of Honor and this show, I thought this was a great show. However, we have no other show announced. Obviously, no television.
That's true. We had it in Riccaboni.
Name me the roster of Ring of Honor.
Can't.
There
isn't it's the AEW roster. That's what the roster of Ring of Honor is.
That's my problem. If it's gonna be Ring of Honor, I, as someone that enjoyed Ring of Honor when it was dying, would have liked to see it be more separate than AEW. I completely get
AEW not gonna pay more.
I know, but I completely get AEW sign guys getting wins here. I completely get doing all this stuff, but then it's like Wheeler Yuta gets signed not to Ring of Honor, to AEW.
Wheeler Yuta, by the way, I just want to say
Samoa Joe gets signed not to Ring of Honor
for this Ring of Honor.
I know, but my problem is you had the perfect moment to say Wheeler Yuta is all honor or whatever the fuck, right? Samoa Joe is all honor or whatever.
Yeah, never gonna happen. It's just
that's my problem. Is if the show is just going to be, Tony Khan had the opportunity to have at least one guy not signed to AEW beat one of his guys and to establish them as a Ring of Honor guy. Now
he has a Ring of Honor guy. They hold the world title. That's the Ring of Honor guy.
And that's my thing. That's the only guy. That's the only guy.
To be honest,
that he was forced to do because it was him versus Bandito, and that was already announced months ago.
Would you like a complaint? Would you like me to join in on the complaints?
You don't have to. You don't
have to. There's one complaint I have, and it's that Well, this wasn't a complaint. This was more of a realization the other day. Oh God,
sure.
Jesus.
Falling apart over there.
If Ring of Honor, when the Elite left, if Ring of Honor was able to shift their entire company to what it would be of, top lucha stars and a good women's division, they wouldn't have had to sell. They wouldn't have had to go.
True. And this is
but
all
they
true.
didn't. They didn't get to do that flip in time. It took a very long time to make that flip.
It took them a full ass year or two to get
the lucha part,
to get their shit together. Then
they had to shut down the women's division.
They should have shut down the women's division because that fucking fell up. That became a trash fire. They booked Marty Scurll as the booker, which legitimately at the time he was doing good stuff.
Everyone agreed on.
Everyone decided, and he was booking well, and he was bringing in NWA, and that was exciting because
also
NWA
had Bully
at the time,
Ray as the booker before that.
So it's a small ceiling to break through. But he was doing a good job. He was working for NWA, and NWA was hot at the time, so it was a good move all around. Then COVID happens, then speaking out, and then they lost all their momentum. They were the smart people and saving money and doing all this stuff. Part of the reason they got sold is because Sinclair fucked up, and they are out of millions upon millions of dollars.
I just think the lucha stuff would have saved them.
Yes,
had they done it early. I was thinking about the same Bandito in the main event, and I was like, man, it sucks Dragon Lee's not here because Dragon Lee, I think, is just one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yep.
But to be fair, Dragon Lee, I don't think he's wrestled since January. So he's just not wrestling.
No, I'm
oddly.
Sure. Let me look. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I was watching some old Dragon Lee stuff this week, which is why I want to bring this up. And my God, just get this man back in Boz, best of the Super Juniors for those wondering. Get him back there. Make him do things because he's just so good. Bandito's great. Yeah, I understand some of the Ring of Honor complaints, but they had 3 total Ring of Honor talent that I cared about winning, and they didn't win, and they shouldn't have won. And all 3 of them include Briscoe 1, Briscoe 2, and Bandito.
Yeah, which
those are the 3 I cared about.
It's the thing. I'm now not concerned. I've always been concerned. I've always been concerned about TK booking it because I've always been booking 2 shows at once, man. Are you sure? It's the thing of look, I get it. If Ring of Honor was good, then it would still be around, but it was good. And part of the problem is that they had a shitty television deal. Sinclair wouldn't promote them at all. And just people were so burnt out because of the speaking out moment and COVID and all this shit that just people didn't want to tune in. Was it perfect? Yeah. No, but at least had good stuff that deserved more, I think.
But Ryan, that was the best Ring of Honor crowd in a long time.
And it was one of the best Ring of Honor shows in a long time.
Yeah, so we can make these comments. And I think they're fair because, there is Ring of Honor talent that deserve a shot here.
I'm not writing off Ring of Honor completely in this new iteration with Tony Khan.
No, they fucking delivered.
I am just saying that I'm I'm a little bit of an arm's reach where I'm all right.
Give me
something.
More.
Give me. I want something that I can sink my teeth into Ring of Honor. Because if it is just going to become AEW Honor, then make it AEW Honor.
Don't change the name.
No, change it. I don't give a shit. If it's
but that's the whole point. They want the name.
Then fucking give me a Ring of Honor roster. Give me the fucking Briscoes. Give me Bandito. Give me Dalton Castle. Give me Blake Christian. Give me Eli fucking Isom. Give me these guys. Give me Dragon Lee, who has wrestled 5 matches since Ring of Honor is destroyed, who's stuck in Mexico, who hasn't wrestled a match outside of Mexico since December of last year.
My heart.
This man is one of the fucking best wrestlers in the world, and he's stuck in Mexico because I'm sure his work visa doesn't work anymore because Ring of Honor is not his promotion anymore. The guy is one of the best wrestlers, and what are we doing? We're sitting him against fucking Stevie Flip and Tome Flip and frickin' God, he wrestled FTR and AAA, and now it's probably pretty good. But still,
you got ranted. I'm happy you got a ranted. Happy for you. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate and say some of those guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
you can't go like, I ice them, and you gotta bring in Dalton Castle. I just said this on the pre-show. Like, come on, man. Like, listen, I think you have 3 Ring of Honor guys now, at least in Tully Blanchard Enterprises. I think those are now Ring of Honor guys.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. You want a difference. Like, you can have AEW people sprinkle in, but you just want a difference. I want
there to be a core Ring of Honor roster, and AEW people can switch it.
No, I get that, and I think that's fair. I think we're asking for a lot based off one show that he didn't even want to do.
I want wrestlers in Ring of Honor that I never see in AEW.
Yeah. Well, Tony Khan probably didn't. We know Tony Khan didn't want to do this show. But it was already booked. So he was like, okay, well, we're going to make it a great show. And he did. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give him some time to, figure this out, because there's probably a lot of planning that goes into how are we going to do this. But, first show, they knocked it out of the park. Let's get to the damn main card.
Ring of Honor roster is also not that great. I mean, they had freaking Joe Hendry on the roster, so.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that great of a roster. I think you just want to establish it better. Well, without the Lucha guys, I'm like, I don't care about
it was a decent roster.
I just want Dragon Lee.
There was a decent roster that had
I don't even need
good
Roche.
People. And they also had a lot of people that weren't that good.
I don't need Roche. Well, I just need Dragon Lee.
I would say there was no one on the roster. The majority of the people were not bad. There were a lot of fine. That's really what the roster was. But they also had a lot of great that were just stuck there, like Dragon Lee. Let's get to the show. Swerve the Realist opens up Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor here in the Curtis Caldwell Center against the insane Alex Zane, really pushing that insane tagline.
Pretty good.
Insane Alex Zane. Good. Really good. I really like this match.
This was like my favorite match of the night for a while. It took a couple matches for anything to like really win me over after this. I thought this was really enjoyable. I mean, Swerve is just so good. He's just so good. I think people are kind of shocked at how good he is, because of like his WWE run was kind of just like meh. And he's just kind of come out like guns a-blazing, but this was really good. Alex Zane, I'm not a big Alex Zane guy or anything, but he can fit in there with the best of them. He was kind of a Ring of Honor guy. Maybe you don't sign him to a full-time contract, but you kind of do like, okay, we have or they want to do TV. So if you're doing TV, he can be a roster member in that aspect and still do other dates, like a per appearance type contract.
And I think also that's part of the problem why they don't have a Ring of Honor set roster is they don't have a TV show. So what's the freaking point?
Yeah, so they're not Tony Khan's probably building a pitch of some sort. And also like we're back to all the old Ring of Honor titles. He's gonna have to rebrand it to the old Ring of Honor logo. Like, you're just gonna have to rebrand this entire thing, because everything isn't matching now. And I'm like, and I would like the old stuff. I said this last week. I was like, just bring it all back. It was a lot, of course, short notice to do all of that. But yeah, really good opening match. Swerve is the man. Happy he won.
Fantastic match between the two. I think the stuff they did on the outside of the ring was just fantastic. Just Alex Zane is phenomenal. Swerve, such for people that have never wrestled each other before.
Right,
an insane amount.
Great way to open it up. To me, this is the first like match of the new Ring of Honor era. I'm not counting the stupid pre-show. Like, this is the first match of the Ring of Honor era. Good way to kick it off.
How dare you do that to Blake Christian?
You got Swerve that's he goes in there and he just he does what Swerve does.
He does what he does. Brian Cage is announced as Tully Blanchard's client. The return of Brian Cage and he squashes Ninja Mac in what I thought was a great squash match. I love this match. Squash. Ninja Mac is a perfect guy to squash. I think he's a guy that should actually get a legit shot. I think he actually is pretty good, Ninja Mac.
He is Noah.
He is Noah. I want Ninja Mac to go to Noah wear an all green jumpsuit. But Ninja Mac, unless of course Ninja
I know
Mac
what his face looks like. He's no ninja.
Jesus. I think
he's just George. I don't know what his real name is.
He's just the Capoeira kid. He is this was the perfect also Lucha Underground squash that I love. That is what got Brian Cage over. It's what got Brian Cage over to begin with.
I'm a machine. Brian Cage, probably. Something I wrote this week. Great reintroduction for Brian Cage. If this is the reason you kept him, which I don't think it was originally, but if it is, if you're gonna have him be one of the core people on Ring of Honor, I think it works because listen, Brian Cage is you can say a lot of things about him, but he's a talented dude. He's a talented dude. He's a good powerhouse. He's not a powerhouse, but he's a good powerhouse. And he does a lot of things that, again, no one else can do. So great re-debut of sorts here. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big fan of Tully Blanchard and Enterprises right off the bat. Like these are dudes, right? These are dudes.
Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty.
I thought this match worked very well.
Yeah, I would have loved to see this in Terminus. This match was really good. Really good.
My match of the night until we'll get there. But this was they did it they worked it perfectly. They got Lee Moriarty over, right? To the fact that he might win. Everyone wants him to win. Mm-hmm. It's a loud reaction. People are reacting to a guy that's still, not fully proven. He's had some matches that are big. He's fought CM Punk and whatnot, but he convinced you he could win this.
Yeah,
and
then the heel turn.
Yes, and the heel turn
perfectly timed heel turn.
It took Jay Lethal cheating to beat Lee Moriarty. And listen, we have said this, you and me, on the show. Jay Lethal, we have our thoughts about him. He's an easy heel to have. He's an easy heel to have because no one wants to cheer him. And he's actually good at heel work, like as a wrestler.
Yeah.
And we saw it on the show by the end. I thought it worked.
Yeah, I think
really good match.
The whole heel angle of Jay Lethal, I think, worked very well. Something that was teased.
So good.
Something that was teased multiple weeks on AEW television was Jay Lethal like, I need to rethink what I'm doing. He officially turns heel.
We're probably not going to get to this later. Yeah. It is so weird hearing Ian Riccaboni go. And this week on AEW Dynamite, I was like, what is happening? I was like, what is happening?
That played into my whole thing of keep them separate.
It's never gonna happen.
I don't want Ian Riccaboni advertising this week's Dynamite.
Ian Riccaboni should be the face of Dynamite, not commentary team wise. I like Excalibur, but
I don't know what his face looks like, so he can't be the face.
Well, that's true. I think Ian Riccaboni's the best play-by-play in the game. So, and these two together, never break them up. Never break them up.
Never mind. I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't
say it. You gotta say it now.
I'll get canceled. No, I won't get canceled for it. I realized something while I was watching, I guess the WrestleCon show when it was Ian Riccaboni and Veda Scott commentating together. And I know that they used to work together in Ring of Honor, but I realized in that moment that Veda Scott is just doing Ian Riccaboni's commentary style. If you especially that WrestleCon show became obviously apparent when I heard both of them at the same time, but Veda Scott is just doing Ian Riccaboni. That's all she's doing as commentating. It's literally all she's doing. They do similar mannerisms. They do similar vocal things. That's all she does.
Interesting.
All she does is she's just.
I like when Ian Riccaboni does. Whoa.
She does the same thing. She does everything Ian Riccaboni does. She does, and I was like, that's why people think Veda Scott is great at commentary. It's because she's just doing Ian Riccaboni.
I'd follow Ian Riccaboni too.
I guess that's fair.
Unbelievable.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would do my Excalibur impression.
Okay, next.
No sold me, baby. Mercedes Martinez versus Willow Nightingale, Ring of Honor Interim World Women's Title match. This is what I thought going in. The first 3 matches, I was like, this show's great. This show is the best of modern Ring of Honor with the improvements of AEW. And then this match happened. So I like Willow a lot. I thought she was pretty good. She messed up a couple times. It wasn't too great. You know, I don't blame her. She's not perfect. Mercedes, I like her a little bit less than Willow, but I still enjoy her work. Also, I don't think she's perfect. This match did not work. This match didn't work.
No, it wasn't very good. They were off. They were definitely off. I think that goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think Willow should be part of the Ring of Honor women's moving forward.
I think Willow is good and is a good prospect, or a good person to have on a roster, and she had a good crowd connection.
Yeah, and I think it's unfair to, base off one match, because I saw her have some solid matches in the women's tournament. There's just something, okay, about women's wrestling and Tony Khan that's just not clicking. And I don't know what it is, because he's bringing in talent.
Mm-hmm.
He has talent on his roster, but like I watched Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue from Rampage.
Yeah,
and that match was so much better than this one. And it had 5 minutes. It was a 5-minute match. No stakes whatsoever besides being in the Owen tournament after you win. Like, it wasn't even the Owen tournament. It was just being in it.
It was a qualifier,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think Jamie Hayter's better than both of these wrestlers, so that probably helps. But I don't know. It didn't work. I don't think Mercedes Martinez is all that great anymore. At least from like what I saw, I haven't seen a lot of Mercedes Martinez, but she had good matches in like the Mae Young Classic once upon a time. I just
did Mercedes also again get injured in this match?
I think she did. Oh yeah, they were like, it felt like she was legitimately hurt at time. It was just, she won, but just I know like people are getting mad at Tony Khan for women's wrestling. I have multiple times, but I don't know.
This one wasn't on him in terms of like
no, he tried. I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, you didn't get Deanna." I was like, "Oh, well, he didn't fucking book her to be the champion either." So get over it. Like, it's just whatever. It's whatever. I don't care.
Let's move on.
I'm not putting a lot into it anymore. Like, it is what it is. This is what Tony Khan's women's divisions are. Sometimes they just don't always deliver. He has good matches now in AEW.
Yep.
It's just, we just have to accept he didn't come into this as a Joshi fan or something. He came into this as a indie wrestling, Bullet Club, Ring of Honor, all those things type fan. And a lot of those didn't have great women's wrestling. He's getting there though in AEW. I will give him some credit, but not fast enough.
Yeah, completely agree. You know who
he should have been there a while ago.
You know who I've liked in this spot more than Mercedes Martinez? But I also get
on the AEW. Serena Deeb.
Serena Deeb would have been
always Serena Deeb.
Always Serena Deeb. No, and I get why he wouldn't use her in this spot, but I think she would have been a good pillar for the women's division Ring of Honor, whatever that means.
I would have had her be the champion.
I would have swapped out Mercedes Martinez for Ruby Soho.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Ruby hasn't jumped off the page.
No, and we've people have listened to us before, and they they know how we feel about Ruby Soho. But I do think Ruby Soho would have been better in this spot and would have worked better.
I guess. I mean,
all I'm saying is the match could have been better. And Ruby
that goes without saying.
Yeah. We've talked about this too much.
If I got the pick, I would have did Jamie Hayter versus Serena Deeb. I didn't get the pick.
Well, speaking of great matches, Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match was next. FTR versus the Briscoes, and what is undoubtedly a classic tag team match, undoubtedly match of the year contender, if not potential winner.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't even hesitate. I slapped the 5 right on this. I didn't hesitate. Literally in the first 5 minutes of this match, you just knew. This was special. Hell yeah to the crowd, by the way, to knowing how special this was. Tag team wrestling, when it's great, it's great. This is to me is the match of the year. I've seen a lot of great wrestling, lots of great wrestling this year. Mm-hmm. This just had everything working for it. Fans reacting the way they did, a determination by all 4 wrestlers to put on the very best match. It's rare that a dream type match delivers to this extent.
Yeah.
But by golly, did they deliver. They did what a lot of people wanted FTR versus the Young Bucks to be when they originally had that match. I think a lot of people think that match was still great, and that's fine, whatever. But the build to this match, without even having any TV doing it, they just did it all on social media pretty much. It was we're the best tag team, you're the best tag team, blah, 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 blah. Back and forth. Get down to the nitty gritty. This feels like it's one of the hottest rivalries in wrestling. And we didn't see a single minute besides what was the pay-per-view? The end of the year pay-per-view?
Final Battle. That's all we got out of these two actually in a ring together before this. But they sold it perfectly. And the match, I've been saying it week after week. FTR has flipped the switch. They felt directionless at one point as heels in the Pinnacle. They didn't feel like they were delivering on their full abilities for me. I thought they were kind of, dead in the water, just wasting away. They had a feud with the Lucha Bros that was pretty bad. It wasn't that good. Didn't give you the matches you hoped for out of those two teams. And then they flip the switch. They start, pushing this baby face potential. Mm-hmm. Just being, listen, we're family guys who love professional wrestling. We, love old school wrestling. We love just getting in there and trying to prove we are the very best. Such an easy story, right? And that's what they did here. The Briscoes, they have their comments from years ago. They're so good. The Briscoes are so good. The Briscoes in their last 2 pay-per-view matches. What can we say, Ryan? That was your boy Howdy match of the week then. We know what your boy Howdy match of the week is this time. For a fact, the boy Howdy, that's it. The boy Howdy, the Cameron Grimes match of the week. This match was fantastic. Scotty, just phenomenal work. Like you said, the crowd was fantastic. Match of the year. I was standing and pacing in my living room as I finished my double cheeseburger from McDonald's. This match was the best thing ever. The blood was fantastic. FTR, currently, tag team of the year. I'm literally, legit, Scotty. If I look at my star ratings and stuff for overall and stuff, number 3 and number 5 are FTR. are Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. They're number 3 and number 5 of the year currently. Not tag teams, but wrestlers.
I have to check mine now.
And they're about to have a match with the Young Bucks, which I'm not too... I can see now why that match is taking place.
I'm higher on that than you are because I thought the first match had shit story. So
I didn't like the first match, but I didn't like that they were just randomly setting up the second one. But now they've done all the work, but I think that's also lazy
in like one night.
I don't think they should have just not challenged the Young Bucks.
I do like the idea though of just like this trio thing of like we are the best teams. Like it's very simple.
Yeah.
They are 11 and 12 for me.
Yeah, they are fantastic. Are they the best tag team?
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah.
There's not many other tag teams that. Well, to be fair, because of the way my ratings go, Jay and Mark Briscoe are now 17 and 18.
Oh, we're getting close. Yeah, no,
because 5 stars means a whole lot.
They have match of the year contender, tag team of the year contender immediately. FTR are fantastic. The Briscoes, boy howdy, man! If you sign them, sign the Briscoes. What are we dilly dallying? Make them a Ring of Honor champion. I would bring them into Briscoe's the only team I would want to not be in Ring of Honor, just so they have a different venue.
I was a little worried, by the way.
About what?
I don't know. When this match was over, I really thought this was it for the Briscoes, until the Young Bucks thing happened.
Well, the Young Bucks thing happened, and then it quickly stopped being the focus of the Briscoes and became FTR versus Young Bucks, and it all was to set up that match.
Well, that's this week.
I know, but I'm like, so is it?
I think the Briscoes stick around.
That's just it for the Briscoes. They are a team. They didn't get the Briscoes are all elite thing. That's what frustrates me, is that they aren't signed. They didn't sign him. Wheeler Yuta got signed. Samoa Joe got signed. Not
to be fair, I thought Wheeler Yuta was signed the entire time.
Me too.
I was stunned when I saw the graphic. I was like,
he probably was. This is all kayfabe. But at the end of the day, it's also like, look, sign these guys. I don't give a shit about what Jay Briscoe said fucking 10 years ago. We're all different people 10 years ago. I was what? I was 15. If you held me accountable for what I said when I was 15, or I did what I liked when I was 15, I liked wrestling when bad example. If you can't, the man's a different person. He's countlessly apologized. What are we doing? He is in one of the best matches of the year, and this guy's Jay and Mark Briscoe are still not signed. They're sitting around on the indies fighting Homicide and Low-Key in one of the shittiest matches I've seen all weekend. And then they're also in the best match I've ever seen all weekend. But it's not because of them. It's because of the other teams. Briscoes are great and fantastic, and they will put on great matches with other guys. Do they raise people to their caliber? Not completely.
Well,
but they have enough experience to be able to do something with smaller guys.
Well, what opponents are we talking about, right? Because what do you mean they don't raise to the caliber? They fucking brought Matt Taven and Mike Bennett to a great match.
You're right. Come on, man. You're right.
Come on, man.
It proves the point anymore. Sign these guys.
It's not their fault. Low-Key's an asshole and Homicide's a dink.
What Jay Briscoe said years ago was bad. I'm not going to beat around that.
It's terrible.
Terrible thing to say. However, the guy has apologized several times. He continues to apologize.
Is that true?
That what?
I've never seen one. I've never seen the apology.
He has. He's apologized. Okay. When it came up again, he apologized again. He apologizes over and over again.
I think,
and there are people in the industry, in the LGBT community, both LGBTQ and the wrestling industry, that have forgiven him. Why is it that that we can't let this man grow from what he was 10 years ago? Do you not want to be different than you were 10 years ago? Do you believe the exact same things? Like, we are holding this guy accountable to something 10 years ago, or however long it was. Sign this guy. Sign this guy. And the other hand is like, then at least sign Mark Briscoe. He's got no hand in that matter. He's just stuck. Sign him. I don't know.
Well, I do want to say, like, Jay Briscoe's always been the bigger one.
I know. Jay Briscoe's always been a better one.
Ring of Honor World Champion.
He's always been the better guy. But Mark is also pretty good. Mark is a fun like mid-card guy.
That being said, all of the fair complaints and the conversation that I think they're signed enough to Ring of Honor. I do.
I hope so. I hope so.
Because that's not TNT. They can't do shit about that. Or TBS, Warner Media, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. Or whatever network they may or may not go to.
Yeah. What I do want to say is this match. No, actually, not this match. I want to talk about FTR. FTR is in probably my 2 favorite tag team matches of all time now. It wasn't even like a question. When this is over, I was like, I'm going to watch this multiple times. Like, I'm going to watch this next year. I'm probably going to watch it in like a week or 2. That's guaranteed.
I can't wait to rewatch this match at Match of the Year list.
Yeah, that's a good point. FTR, I gave them a lot of flack when they came in, because they came in, feeling like a big deal, which obviously because they're gonna have the match with the Young Bucks, but I feel like they took a while to fully be them. Like they didn't feel like the Revival for a while there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think the Revival, as much as we, they're not the Revival anymore, but in NXT, the Revival were best tag team in the world. They were in that conversation with the Young Bucks legitimately. They had that match with DIY, which is one of my favorite tag team matches of all time. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. These two right there, neck and neck. They are that great. That's probably why I was hard on them, because they weren't having those matches. Those Lucha Bros matches didn't help their cause in my conversation either. They were not good. They were upsetting. They were a letdown. And that old tire feud was let down. So now that we're seeing them in the place of like kind of tweeners where they're just all about the wrestling, it kind of feels like a legitimate feeling for them.
Yeah.
Like it's not a gimmick. It's how they feel. They want to be the best tag team in the world. They want to be the best tag team of all time. So now, instead of doing all the heel stuff and dealing with, the Pinnacle, they're just going to go in there and wrestle. And that's all I want from them. That's what they did here. The Briscoes are fantastic still. Maybe it took that. Maybe they're not. Maybe those that don't believe the Briscoes are good aren't watching them when they're motivated. Mm-hmm. They're motivated when they're on these big Ring of Honor shows. They're delivering on these bigger Ring of Honor shows. They have back-to-back Ring of Honor shows of matches of the show by far, no question. They make tag team wrestling better. FTR makes tag team wrestling better. This was fantastic. And that closing segment with the big rig to win it, just perfect. And I did enjoy all the Young Bucks stuff after, because them and the Briscoes being in the same ring together, very cool to see again. And I do think we get that match. Maybe that's happens in Ring of Honor. I don't know. I'm assuming, because I don't know if they're going to be on AEW or not, but when Ring of Honor comes back officially as a TV show that Tony Khan promises, the Briscoes need to be on.
Mm-hmm. They need to be. This match was fantastic. I can't. The work that they did, the stuff on the outside, what was the spot? What was the specific spot that caused
suplex?
Yeah, was it the suplex?
That was insane. The suplex from on the apron down to the floor.
Yeah,
where they had to check on him.
God, that was the spot. I think that was the spot I got out of my chair. I was just like, Jesus Christ,
the boy howdy spot of the night.
It's a fantastic match. It's just undoubtedly a fantastic match, and any network executive, any person online or whatever, any promoter or whatever that thinks that, this guy isn't worth signing. They didn't
hit their main finish. I realize they protected the Briscoes finish.
The froggy bow.
Well, he hit the froggy bow, but they have like a more like combo They didn't do the combo.
Oh, yeah. I thought they did the combo.
Maybe they did. I don't know. What I do know is that the big rig, whatever you want to call it, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
Shatter Machine?
Oh, big rig. Big rig. When FTR did not FTR, when Briscoes did the big rig, I was like, yeah, man. Woo! That's
and they didn't do
I think that's my boy Howdy spot of the night.
They didn't do the unnecessary like kickouts or anything. Like this just felt like a great wrestling match. Yeah, I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. It was I walked away from it when it was all said and done, just like, oh, this is the match of the year. I haven't seen anything better than this.
Mm-hmm. It's fantastic, just utterly fantastic. Next match, Ring of Honor World Television Title match: Minoru Suzuki versus Rhett Titus.
I popped, man. I know you're a big Rhett Titus guy, so this is a tough one for you to swallow because he got crushed, destroyed, decimated.
Man came out to the AEW fan base who have no idea who this guy is. Just got zero applause.
What?
And got
geek.
Crushed. Just got crushed.
He's an absolute geek. But you know what? He got the match on the show. He probably lived a lifelong dream of fighting Minoru Suzuki, so he'll get over it. Minoru Suzuki wins his first title ever in the United States. That's pretty cool. I don't know where they're going to go with this because Minoru Suzuki is going to go back. He's going to go back to Japan eventually.
I think that's the thing is that let's just put the belt on him because Ring of Honor doesn't even know when they're running another show.
Yeah,
so it's just true. In their defense.
So when he comes back, you have a signature match with Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, you can expect Minoru Suzuki back, and maybe they'll just put the title on the line at Windy City Riot. Who cares? Who knows? Probably not.
Got it. That's in 2 weekends.
That's in 2 weeks. That match, Minoru Suzuki versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, they were just like, you know what? We'll do it.
Yeah, I was super disappointed about Rhett Titus getting disrespected, but
I was so happy.
It's Minoru Suzuki, so I get it. But it's
I've
still
never seen someone like Rhett Titus as much as you.
Look, man, he's legitimately pretty good. He's not the greatest guy in the wrestler, but he's pretty good.
He's fine.
Ring of Honor. Speaking about fine, Ring of Honor Pure title match: Wheeler Yuta versus Josh Woods. I thought this match was fine. I don't think Josh Woods is. I've come to the decision that Josh Woods is not good.
Josh Woods stinks. This was probably the best, my favorite pure match of his, which is telling you all you need to know about his pure matches.
Every pure match of his up until he won the title was pretty good.
Yeah.
Once he won the title, it stunk ever since.
I actually thought he was gonna win because he's been on Dark and whatnot, but I'm happy he didn't. That means he's not signed. Oh, Wheeler Yuta. How about what you say?
Yuta signed. Yuta signed. He's officially signed to AEW.
Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours.
He's the pure title holder, and presumably, maybe he impressed William Regal. Ring of Honor World Title main event: Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito. Gresham getting the win. I really like this match. I thought it had a slow start, but then it picked up near the end part.
It was a really good match.
I thought the Chavo Guerrero part was actually, I enjoyed that. It was weird as hell that he was there and very random. And I like that his character is just that he's a shitty manager. But I like because it helped endear Bandito. They connected Bandito to Eddie Guerrero and then made him like a big face by getting Chavo out of here. That's basically what they did. And I thought that, and the crowd was super into Bandito, way more than Gresham too. You can tell that this was an AEW crowd. But yeah,
Bandito's great.
Bandito's great. What's your complaint?
We're talking about all these guys that we should sign and whatnot. Bandito, I think, goes without saying, to be part of Ring of Honor. My complaint is that they had the exact same pin as the pure match. The exact same. It was exactly the same.
Really?
Exactly the same.
Well, at least it wasn't one of your classic Terminus scrubs. At least the match didn't go into
No, I thought the match was really good. That was my one complaint. I was like, this was the exact same thing that Wheeler Yuta just won with.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
Hey, it worked once.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
before.
cool. Jonathan Gresham, officially your undisputed Ring of Honor World Champion. He is the foundation. Some. And then Jay Lethal showed up.
Yeah, so following the match, Jay Lethal shows up, and Jay Lethal is out there beating down on Gresham. Lee Moriarty makes a save.
Dutt joined in.
Sanjay Dutt beats down Lee Moriarty with Jay Lethal. They turn heel. Jay Lethal grabs both belts, and he's like, hey, I'm signed to AEW, which means these will be mine soon. And then a weird-ass sound plays of a bunch of fire. No one in the crowd. No one any idea what the hell was happening. And then the sickest ass beat drops, and big old Samoa Joe walks out.
Joe.
And runs off Jay Lethal and Dutt. It's announced later in the night that
he didn't run off Sanjay Dutt.
Oh yeah,
he put Sanjay Dutt out.
He put his ass to sleep. And it was announced after the show that Samoa Joe has officially signed with, not Ring of Honor, with AEW. And he will be on Dynamite this Wednesday.
Sanjay Dutt, fuck off. Samoa Joe, man, I love him. I don't care that, he gets injured pretty much every time he wrestles. He didn't get injured last time, though. He got COVID. I don't care that he's not the same speed he was in his prime. Guess what? No one is. He just has to work smarter. That's what we're watching CM Punk doing, and CM Punk's having some of the best matches of his damn career. Mm-hmm. I think Samoa Joe can do that too. I think he's going to do that. Samoa Joe is the greatest Ring of Honor champion of all time. And now he has his eyes on the prize. Said it in the post media scrum. Yeah, I'm going for the AEW World title. I'm going for Ring of Honor World title. I'm going for all the belts. Mm-hmm. Give me all the belts.
Give me the Owen. I want the Owen. Why not?
He's like, I want the Owen. Put me in the Owen. I was like, oh, fucking twist my arm. Put him in the Owen.
Fine.
Put him in the Owen.
Hey, man.
It's awesome, right? It's just so. He got the last one. Tony Khan went and got the last one that felt must sign. Samoa Joe doesn't need to be the wrestler he was to be a big, impactful guy. You want a guy to help you with Ring of Honor in terms of the backstage? There's a guy right there, Samoa Joe.
Yeah. He's
a guy that cares about that brand so much. He was telling WWE to buy it because he cared about the brand so much. There is, I think people, don't appreciate Joe enough.
He's an indie wrestler at heart.
Yeah, he always will be. And it's funny to say that because of the most of his career was ultimately spent in Impact and WWE, if you combine those compared to indies. But he's an indie wrestler at heart. He got into conversations of one of the best of all time because of his indie work. He wasn't chopping Kenta Kobashi on Impact Wrestling TNA. He was doing that in Ring of Honor. He again had those matches with Punk. They're gonna run that back. It's probably gonna be amazing because they're gonna do it like they're gonna do the psychology way, and it's just gonna be great and it's gonna be cool, and it's just cool. Samoa Joe's all elite. If they didn't sign anyone for the rest of the year, it would be fine. Yeah. At least on the men's side, it would be fine. Just great way to end the show too. Having Samoa Joe be the lasting image, holding up the Ring of Honor World Champion's hand, to end the show.
Yep. Oh, fantastic.
And yes, like you said, he will be on AEW this week.
Yeah. Great show. Just great show. Just all around.
Yeah, he gave moments. He gave great wrestling.
Fantastic wrestling.
Yeah, a match that was better than anything AEW's done this year. Well, everyone's done, but just want to point that out.
So, Scotty, we are at over 2 hours now. Fun fact. And we haven't touched a single thing about
To
Stardom.
be fair, we knew this was going to happen these 2 weeks.
Yeah. We haven't talked Stardom. We haven't talked WrestleMania weekend show.
Well, my Stardom run can be real quick. I can do that real quick.
Okay. And what should we do about the WrestleMania weekend shows? Keep going?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do?
Yeah. Well, hard cut at 12:30. Hard cut.
I'll start revving up the train while you go.
We call that the lunch cut also.
Copy that. All right. Well, talk to me how you woke up this morning at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever it was.
You just hit me with the LA. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Let me tell you something.
You woke up this morning to watch
I'm psycho.
Stardom Cinderella tournament. The beginning.
Round 1, baby. First time ever live.
I love it. I do that more.
This isn't about I want to just start it off. This isn't about match quality, it's about surprises, I called it March Madness earlier because that's what it really is. It's about the upsets, it's about because you get the better matches as the tournament goes on.
Yeah.
First round, 10-minute time limit, over the top rope eliminations are in play. If there's a draw, everyone's eliminated. So, and we ended the night with 2 of the favorites that I thought had a real shot at winning, not in it anymore. That's how great it was. So yeah, I'm excited to go over this real quick. There's not too much to go over. Let me get the let me tell you something.
I'm trying to, as you've been talking, I've been trying to find the freaking tournament round 1 match order list.
I wrote it up. If
hit me with it. Then talk to me.
Talk to me. All right. So
here we go.
16 matches.
Here we'll go. I got the matches for me. Ready? Hit me.
Yep.
Hit me with all your thoughts as we go film.
Yeah. All right.
Unagi Sayaka versus Hina.
I thought this was really good in terms of Hina actually had a really good near fall in it, which is kind of what I'm looking for in these matches. Nagi won, so not too shocking there, but the obvious winner, there's a few obvious winners on this, which is the matches I won't talk about enough, but good start. She's definitely a favorite now because her next match will get her into the semifinals.
That's true. Saki Kashima defeated Waka Tsukiyama.
Sorry. Yeah, this match happened.
All right.
Saki Kashima won.
Micah defeated Hanan. Yeah, that's not a surprise. But how was the match? Was it good?
That was actually a pretty good match. That was the first one that I was like, oh, this is good. People should watch this. Hanan looked really good. She had some good close calls on Micah that actually felt like she was going to win a few times, which was cool. Good over the top rope shot. Hanan's getting really good. Of course, Micah won. I'm a shit stirrer, and I'll get to it after. Made some people angry at me. It's fine. We'll get to it in a second. But yeah, that was pretty good.
New God's Eye member Mirai defeated Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah, God's Eye, aka the best faction, started all of a sudden. It just needed 2 people to make that happen. What did she face?
Mina Shirakawa.
Oh my god, they made this terrifying. I thought Mirai was gonna lose, and I was probably gonna shut it off. I was like, Mirai is the one person I put a lot of stock into. We can't have her losing the Joker version of Mina Shirakawa. She did the thing that she did when she faced Tam, which sucked.
Oh no,
and she sucked again. It was bad.
It's big match Shirakawa.
Mina Shirakawa has not been good this year. She's just been bad. Real bad.
Maya Iwatani defeated Momo Kogo.
Pretty solid. I mean, Mayu was Mayu. She it's always funny because when she wrestles Stars members, she'll hit them with the dragon suplex and then pat them on the head after she just murked them. So that was funny.
I'm interested in Momo Kogo. I'm kind of interested in her.
A lot of talent.
Yeah.
A lot of raw talent.
Yeah, I think she has potential.
She's doing springboards.
Natsupoi defeated Starlight Kid. Whoa.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Wait, what?
Yeah, this was the one that I was just like, oh my God, this is going to happen. Yeah, so
What?
my pick to win. Starlight Kid. Eliminated first round.
Oof.
Out of nowhere.
Oof.
Now, don't get me wrong, Natsupoi. I didn't fill out a bracket, so I was like, I knew what I was doing. I didn't there's nothing official. But yeah, shocking. But this is why watching this live was so good. Because like you had like that the heart was beating. You're like, oh my God, which way are we gonna go here? You know, she hit the Black Tiger on the apron, kind of like the Wrath of Black Tiger, and then she just gets rolled off. Like Natsupoi rolls her legs off, and it's like everyone's like, whoa, because no one expected Starlight Kid to lose this early. Really cool moment. A little shocking, of course, because again, I really thought this was her time.
Yeah.
I guess when she won tag titles, I should have known.
Yeah, that might be it, but still, then it would matter about if anyone eliminated Momo, maybe. But it would have. But I don't know.
We'll get to that.
What the hell is happening in this tournament? So this tournament,
10-minute time limit.
They must have been feeling some big pressure because it's swerve territory here. Utami Hayashishita versus Tam Nakano ended in a draw, so both get eliminated from the tournament.
Yeah.
Tommy and Tam out.
Mariah is already in the quarterfinals because of this, so that's worth noting. Yeah, this match was good, by the way. Did you see any of Utami acting like Tam this week?
No, I did not. Oh, yes. Yeah,
she went off the rails.
She's losing her mind. She's in Okada balloon territory.
Yes. She did a little bit of that in this match, which was funny, but the match was really, these two have great chemistry. We saw it at the 5-star final day. I think this should all just lead to a special match between them because they have nothing else going on, these two. They carried Stardom in 2021, and now they're eliminated from the first round of the Cinderella tournament. Really good match and good, smart draw to go with. Another shocker. Here we go.
Second round. Moving now into the second round.
This is the only second round match from the show.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Saya Kamitani versus Micah ends in another draw, so both get eliminated.
Yep. So just like that, Micah's gone.
The Wonder of Stardom champion, Saya Kamitani, is gone.
I have 4 favorites going into this Stardom. 4, like, probable winners. 2 of them are now out. Gone. See you later. Not happening. And this was good as you'd expect out of these two. And we got the next Wonder of Stardom title match, which Micah was like, listen, I want the belt. It's going to happen in Fukuoka, which is her hometown. So big moment there. And this is where I stirred the pot on Twitter. And I said, Saya Kamitani. It's so funny because people got so mad. Especially Peps. Poor Peps. I'm so sorry.
Did you say Saya Kamitani should beat up Micah?
No, I said Saya Kamitani is going to carry Micah to the best match of her career. I said the power of the Golden Phoenix. And then, people were not happy. People were like, one bad take from you. And I was like, it's just too easy. I mean, I know how much everyone loves Micah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well.
Yeah. It's easy to crush those dreams.
Gotta stir it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I was like, listen, I love Micah's matches with Utami. I love him with Shuri. Just pay attention to the things I say. I'm joking. But they also are a great rivalry, and I wouldn't be shocked if they had each other's best career match either.
That's also possible. Going back to the first round, Mai Sakurai defeated Lady C.
Oh, fuck. This is painful. Move on.
I would have thought Lady C would have won, but sure.
Why would you think that? I don't
know. Just Lady C, I guess. Saya Ida defeated Rina.
Saya Ida's going to have a run because she's facing Mai Sakurai next.
Saya Ida all the way. Saya Ida all the way, baby. She's gonna like Hulk out of.
Unfortunately for her, she's on the tough side of the block.
She's going to with her back, just like break the back of the dress.
True. That's true. No, that's true.
Kagama defeated Fukigen Death.
Fukigen Death on her entrance video was like a cartoon Cinderella body with Fukigen Death's face on it.
Like a JPEG of her actual face.
Yeah, I think so. I need to find it. I don't know how I would find it. All right, Christ. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Please.
Yeah. Continue.
The next match was Himeka defeated Ruaka.
I sent it on count out. Yeah, Himeka's the clear favorite, I think, now. I think goes without saying. She was favorite. She was my number 2 favorite behind Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid's gone. Himeka just kind of has a clear path. Well, no, she doesn't. That's not true at all. She has the complete opposite of clear paths, actually. She's gonna have to beat. She has to beat Shuri, and then you're looking at the image. Isn't it great?
It's fantastic.
It's everything you could have ever dreamt of.
Wow. It's fantastic.
Never forget that after Nagi did like her like nude shoot with her titles, Fukigen Death said she wanted to win the 5-star so she could do it.
Perfect.
You're welcome for all of that.
Hazuki defeated Miyu Amasaki.
This was pretty good. Miyu Amasaki's very solid already, and Hazuki has the intensity that she had in the Momo match, so she's going to make a run as well. I think it's down to Hazuki and Himeka as the 2 favorites.
Julia defeated Tekla.
This was good. You'll like it.
Great.
You'll enjoy it. Poor Tekla, she had to lose, but she got dropped on her head. Backdrop driver. Ooh, Julia just doesn't care if you're a friend or not. She never will. This was really good. Probably the match of the first round.
Azumi defeated Momo Watanabe.
Another surprise. This was the one I predicted to be the upset of the tournament, or not the tournament, of the first round.
Yeah,
it happened, and now we get Azumi versus Hazuki, so that'll be pretty sweet.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Shuri defeated Ami Sourei.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was her debut. She looked good.
There was a mystery person, right? Wasn't there on the bracket?
She's the bodyguard. She was Shuri's bodyguard.
Yes.
That was revealed. And then she was like, "I won in the tournament, and I want to face you." And Shuri's like,
"All right,
okay, I don't lose. Fucking let's go."
Hey, scrub. Are you my bodyguard?
Bring her down. She did bring her down to the limit. I think they got within the last minute. And then Shuri made her tap out because she's Shuri.
That's what she does.
But the most important part was after the match, Shuri said, "All right, faction time." And she announced that their name is God's Eye.
God's Eye.
I think it's pretty badass. Like she was like, "Yeah, we're just God's Eye. We are the faction." And then with the swerve at the end, not the swerve. I thought this was the move to go with. Mirai joined the group, leaving Donna Del Mondo.
Beautiful.
And I think Julia pretty much wanted to fucking kill her after. There was a post. They had like a press conference type thing, and Julia was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? What are you doing?" God. So I'll go through this real quick. The remaining bracket, which I don't think anyone was ready for. So the right side of the bracket. You listening, Ryan?
Yes, I am.
Right side of the bracket. Nagi Sayaka versus Natsupoi. The winner goes to the semifinal. Because Saya and Micah went to the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Mayu Iwatani versus Saki Kashima. You bet your ass Mayu Iwatani's probably losing. Saki Kashima's got a number. And Mariah's already in the quarterfinals.
She's got that surprise pin thing.
It sure feels like it's a Mariah final. It's starting to feel like that. Either her and Unagi feels pretty definite.
Mariah's a good person to have win this.
Yeah. I mean, she won't win probably, but
I know
that's okay.
But she would be a good person. I mean, that's the problem is the dress has already been custom made for Saida, so
Left side, Saida versus Mai Sakurai. Julia versus Koguma. Hazuki versus Azumi, and Shuri versus Hameka. As I said,
that should be interesting.
Hameka's probably still the favorite, but at the same time,
it's Shuri.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be excited to face Shuri.
Yeah, no, I think it's also interesting because you have God's Eye versus Donna Del Mundo right away.
Yep. And that's the start and wrap up. Now we can go through the shit show that was WrestleMania. It was actually a lot of wrestling.
That was super loud, and I apologize. I don't think you heard it because of the sound effect. I played a train horn. It was super loud. It was not the train horn that I wanted, anyways. Oh, that didn't work. I'll cut that out from the show. Let's move on from that. We have 30 minutes to get to 3 hours. So let us all aboard the speed train as we talk about WrestleMania weekend, talk about the shows that we watched and some of the matches we enjoyed, some of the matches we didn't, and everything in between. Scotty, did you see Glory Pros Cemetery Gates, the first show of WrestleMania weekend?
Nope.
I did see it. I did see it. The show was it was pretty good. What
was the best match?
Best match.
That's what we'll do. What was the best match from it if you watched it?
Best. This is gonna surprise you. This might surprise you. Best match for me was the loser leaves the neighborhood match. Dan the Dad versus Cody Lane.
What did you just say to me?
I said that Dan the Dad probably had the best match in the show, with a show that has Brian Keith, Josh Alexander, Davey Richards, Rocky Romero. It was a plunder match that was great. Cody Lane is this beautiful flamingo salt, where it's basically a lion salt, but it's even better. This match was actually really good. The No Remorse Core versus Grindhouse is also good. I was actually legitimately surprised of how much I enjoyed the Alley Cat versus Laney Luck submission match.
No, get the fuck out of here. Nope, canceled. Done.
Scotty,
see ya.
You know how I feel about these people.
I just want to point out.
I'm telling you they were good.
You have to convince me to watch these shows. There's no way you're convincing me to watch this match. You could have told me it was 5 stars in your book. I wouldn't watch it.
Oh,
all right. I would.
It was like maybe 2.5, maybe 2 3/4.
Fuck off.
But it was way better than I thought it would be. That's my point.
Did you watch everything?
I didn't watch everything. I watched this entire show, as in everything.
No, but did you watch everything from WrestleMania weekend?
No, I'm still watching stuff.
Me too. That's why I said hard cut.
That's fair. What did it say? 12:30? Oh yeah, we got 30 minutes. So that was good. Worst match on the show was the United Glory Tag Team Title 4-way match.
You don't have to point out the worst.
Where it was just not good.
Unless it was abomination, then you must.
It was kind of an abomination. It really wasn't good. It was
Did it hit the dud level?
I gave it, I think, 1.5 stars.
Nah, that's not dud.
It's pretty bad though.
I had to give 1.5 stars to like some Stardom's Cinderella tournament, but that's just because they didn't have enough content.
It was one of those matches where it had 8 people and none of what they did worked with each other, and I also had no idea who 6 of the people were. And it was a lot of like, oh, this guy is a Nightmare Family dude. And it's like, okay, great. It didn't really work.
Your anger of okay, great. Who gives a shit?
I don't care, man. It's so bad. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 8. Did you see the show?
I watched the entire thing.
Me too. I watched it live.
The first show of WrestleMania weekend I watched. I did not watch it live. I was working, so I watched it when I got home.
What was your favorite match from the show?
Biff and Mox.
Yeah, that match fucking ruled, dude. That ruled, brother. Good. That match is good.
Well, you know what they say. Biff still rules, baby. Biff is great. Biff is he's one of my favorite indie guys now because he's like the definition of indie guy who just goes out there, gives 100% every match he's in.
Yeah,
this was great. Moxley was great.
The blood from Biff music.
It was Bloodsport, baby. It was actual blood.
They put the blood.
It was funny because some Bloodsport matches just fucking suck. They stink.
Some are just like grapple fuck. Like who gives?
Yeah, they're like grapple fucks from professional wrestlers. Like I don't want to watch that. No offense, but I don't want to watch that. Like Josh Barnett, I'll watch grapple because you know what? That's his thing.
You know,
I'm not gonna.
Chris Dickinson and Suzuki, great match. I'll watch that.
Yeah, that was great too.
Yuya Uemura versus Mike Bailey, good match.
That was good too. I like that a lot, and I also like the ending of Ninja Mac versus Yoya.
Just getting his ass beat the entire time, and then Ninja Mac's like, "Fuck
bang,
this, bang!"
That was sick. But yeah,
I really like the JR Kratos Timothy Thatcher match. I really like that.
That was
match.
pretty good too.
I thought
JR Kratos was good.
That was the Timothy Thatcher I've been wanting to see. Is that NXT Timothy Thatcher of like, you know, going out there and like being violent and stuff.
Well, good news for you. Mm-hmm. That was his first match since NXT. So.
Yeah. Well, and then I watched the second match of his this weekend, and it was crap. So, you know, it's sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Is there another match that you liked? Any other things from the show that you enjoyed?
I think that's it.
What do you think of Johnny? Josh, what do you think of Johnny Bloodsport?
I don't need it.
That was fun. Simon Gotch is not good.
I think I ended up skipping it actually because I saw Simon Gotch and what he was wearing, and I was like, nah.
AAA invades WrestleCon. Did you see it?
I watched 2 matches from this.
What'd you see?
I watched Laredo Kid versus Bandito versus Flamita.
The AAA World Cruiserweight Title 3-way.
That shockingly ruled. Not so shocking.
I was about to say shocking.
Because Triple Threat Lucha is always great, especially and I can say that Flamita is like very hit or miss for me, but he was very he worked well in this match. Bandito and Laredo Kid are just nuts. Mm-hmm. So that was great. And I also watched the main event, Psycho Clown and Black Taurus, which I popped at one point, but it wasn't for either of them.
Really? What do you mean? What happened?
I popped for Karen Jarrett. I was like, oh my God, why is she here?
The big angle.
Yeah. Poor Psycho Clown. Psycho Clown and Black Taurus had a good match too, though. Psycho Clown's great. I love Psycho Clown.
I love me some Black Taurus.
Well, yeah, he's great too. He's obviously great. It's just, you know, he's wasted an Impact. So
yeah, he is.
I don't see it enough. I don't get to see Psycho Clown all the time. So anytime I do, I enjoy it.
GCW's Joey Janela's Spring Break 6 Part 1. Did you see it?
I watched one match from this, and I wish I did it.
Can I take a guess?
Yep.
John Moxley versus AJ Gray.
Yep.
Yeah. This match.
AJ Gray's not good.
This show wasn't good.
I believe it. I saw the rest of the card. That's why I didn't watch it. I don't think AJ Gray is all that good. I thought the match was slow as dirt.
Yeah.
It just
AJ Gray has been doing good work in West Coast Pro.
West Coast Pro is better than GCW, so that's not a shock. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. The best match on this entire card was probably the Blake Christian AR Fox match, which, you know.
That sounds right.
Sounds right.
Shout out AR Fox.
Can I talk about the GCW tag match that opened the show?
Go for it.
Jay and Mark Briscoe versus Second Gear Crew Mance Warner and Matthew Justice versus Nick Gage. Matt Tremont's not there for whatever reason.
Time out. Nick Gage wrestled this weekend?
Yeah. Just that match.
Well, did he actually wrestle or did he just show up?
Well, he wrestled. He did do some stuff. But that was the only match he wrestled in the entire weekend.
Did he win?
No. Matt Tremont was not there. His tag partner was not there. Halfway through the match, Slade came out of nowhere and helped Nick Gage he gave Nick Gage a pizza cutter or whatever. Slade came out, pulled a pizza cutter out of his own pocket, and they just cut open Mance Warner a bunch. And then they still lost. The Briscoes the Briscoes won the titles. The match stunk.
Wait a minute. So they gave the titles back to the Briscoes?
Yes, the titles are back on the Briscoes.
I'm so happy they did what they did at World on GCW then.
Yeah, I know. So I saw someone on Twitter say this that this between this. So remember what you and I said about the Hammerstein show?
That was terrible.
That everyone, all the GCW fans and everyone in the GCW fandom and all these independent fans were saying that this show, that Hammerstein show, was to set up Spring Break as the big show.
LOL.
But this was the big show. And,
Part 1.
And the only match I think that had any sort of connective tissue with the other matches were this tag team match, which Matt Tremont wasn't there, and it stunk. It was a lot of plunder. I feel like some people probably liked it, but it wasn't that good. It's the worst rated match on this cage match rating. Got a 4.5 out of 10. That's what, 2.25 stars.
We're not.
And the only other match that got any sort of stuff was the GCW. Oh no, I'm not done. The only other match that got any sort of connective tissue from that, the show that they said was setting up this show, from the Hammerstein show that was setting up this show, the only other match that had any storyline or anything was John Wayne Murdoch versus Alex Colon, which had a worked angle, I think it was worked, of Alex Colon hurting his arm and just having a out of nowhere John Wayne Murdoch beats him because his arm hurt and he can't do anything, and then John Wayne Murdoch. It was like a sudden, like abrupt ending, and John Wayne Murdoch wins. So it was like, and that match was kind of just not great, and that was the main event.
What I was going to say was we don't have to have a hard end if we're just going to shit on matches, because I'm all game for that. I think that's our best content.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
it sucked. The World on GCW was a failure, and let's move on.
If they've reached their ceiling, and these two are the biggest shows, and they both were not good guys. Let's be honest, please.
I don't know
this wasn't
who
good.
The hell's gonna beat John Moxley.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna imagine Tony Khan's gonna be like, "Nope, you can't be in the GCW anymore. That'll be it." WrestleCon, Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show. Did you see it?
Hell yeah, I did. This was one of the more exciting shows on the weekend.
Yeah, on paper, definitely. Playing out, you know.
There were two really good matches.
What'd you like?
I really like Bandito versus Mike Bailey, which I had no doubt I would really like.
That won the shoot $5,000 bounty for best match,
which as they should have, because it was easily the best match on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the trios match. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yes, two best matches.
Team Impact was cool. Team Impact was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were. I gotta say this every time we talk about Impact. I don't give a shit. Ace Austin, so good.
Yep,
he's so good.
Yep,
he's awesome. Josh Alexander was good. I mean, I know that it was originally Jonathan Gresham, but I thought going Team Impact was good. Michael Oku was great.
Josh Alexander was a good replacement. Was a great replacement, especially for this style of match. Great replacement.
Yeah, it fit really well. Michael Oku was great. Ray Horace was great. Laredo Kid was great. Everyone was great. It was a really good match. I loved it. Some people said it was the match of the show. I disagree. I think Bandito versus Mike Bailey was just
very close. Very close.
Yeah, it was. But the thing with Bandito and Mike Bailey is just like, that was, if I'm gonna watch indie wrestling, that's what I want.
I also thought the Suzuki Biff Busick match was pretty good.
Yes, Biff Busick, that crazy mofo after that John Moxley match was like, okay, Give me Suzuki.
A couple questions for you. What do you think of Mia Yim and her return?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Could have been worse. Could have been Willow versus Mercedes Martinez.
That's true.
I thought this was better.
Yeah. I thought the Ishii Thatcher match was not good.
Disappointment.
Disappointment. It was good, but it was disappointing.
It was fine.
What did you think of the Dirty Dishes match? I thought it was very Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Very Lucha Underground.
It was very Lucha Underground, but also like it was funny. I liked the idea behind it. I mean, they probably had fun with it too. So no harm, no foul.
The 10-man tag team match stunk.
I didn't watch it.
Jimmy Wang Yang, though, he needs to get a contract, dude. The guy can still go legitimately.
I watched the entrances to see who was in the match, and then I stopped.
That's fair.
Nope. And then I fast forward to Dango and Summer Rae dancing accidentally.
Yeah, that's hilarious. The other team wins the match, and then Onita missed Dango after the match. Or no, for the finish, he missed Dango. And then after the match, he missed Jimmy Wang Yang out of nowhere, and then beats the crap out of him and throws him into the crowd. Just like legitimately like beats the crap out of him for no reason whatsoever. Leatherface was also here, by the way. Leatherface, Chainsaw, he was there with Onita. And then Dango's just like in the ring, like what the hell was like legitimately he's like, what the fuck was that? And then Summer Rae comes out. It's just like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then I already spoke my thoughts about Briscoes versus Homicide and Low-Ki.
The disappointing main event. Because like on paper, you're like, oh, this could be pretty good, but those two dinks spent the entire time yelling and being idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Briscoes' fault.
Yep.
Moving on.
GCW Planet Death. Did you watch this show?
Absolutely fucking not.
I did not. I did not also watch the show. I should say, and I think that's a good point here, is that we're giving our sort of like pithy thoughts, very quick thoughts about all this stuff. But Independent Waters, one of the podcasts on the Countout Network, they are going to have 3 episodes this week actually, where they're going to be talking to a bunch of people in the Countout family who watched different shows. They're going to cover a bunch of the collective weekend shows like Planet Death, For the Culture, Cemetery Gates is going to be covered. They're going to be talking about a bunch of them every single day, or not every day this week, but 3 days of this week. I don't remember what days those were, but Independent Waters with Mikey and Zach, they will be going in depth with all the GCW collective shows. So stay tuned for that. So you'll definitely see like Loren, host of Your Dose of Death, talk about
Aren't
Planet
you on
Death.
it?
I am. I'm going to be talking about For the Culture. Which I thought was a pretty good show. Let's talk about the next one. LA Fights versus JCW. Did you see the show?
I do want to. Okay, so I just want to say, like, this show wasn't part of WrestleMania weekend, but I did watch Impact on Access TV. It's the main event, which was Jay White and Chris Bay versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. Highly recommend. Go check it out. JCW versus LA Fights.
Yes.
I watched one match.
And
can you guess it?
Let's see.
You're gonna guess it. You know. It takes 2 seconds to find the name.
Nick Wayne versus Marcus Mathers.
Damn it! No.
Oh, was it Jack Cartwheel versus Alec Price?
Yeah.
It could. I think. To be fair, I think that could have been on either way.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm a big Alec Price guy, even though Nick Wayne's great too.
All 4 of those guys are really good.
Yeah, Jack Cartwheel's good, and Marcus Mathers is good too. So I watched that match. Pretty good. I think this was the second time I've seen Cartwheel. Oh, by the way, we're gonna talk about. I don't know when this match happened. 1 second. Pause. Hold.
Holding. We're holding for a helicopter.
Hold. When did this match happen? Ain't nobody makes me feel good. I have no idea when this match happened. Oh, okay. When did this happen?
What is he talking about, folks?
Oh, this happened last week. I watched. So there was a match from Blitzkrieg Pro on March 25th. It was Alec Price versus Mike Bailey. That shit rocked. Definitely go watch that.
I will watch that. That's the Blitzkrieg Pro, you said?
Yeah, it's good. It was on I think it's on independent wrestling TV or whatever the fuck it's called.
All right. For the culture, I won't talk about it because I'll be talking about it on Independent Waters, like we said.
I didn't watch it.
But you didn't watch it. So, what are my thoughts on
how did the Hitmakers look? That's what I need to know.
Good.
Did they? Really?
I'll talk about it more.
Ashanti's actually good.
I'll talk about it more on Independent Waters this week. So go definitely.
Should I watch it?
You know?
Did Swerve show up?
No, of course.
No, I'm not watching.
I'm not watching. New Japan Strong's Lone Star Shootout. Did you watch the show? I did.
I did. I missed the tag, but I watched everything else.
The 8-man tag.
Yeah, I missed the tag, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna go back and watch it.
I want to know what your
even though Yu was not, he was in it.
What was your favorite match? And I definitely have a question for you.
I think I don't know. The last two matches ruled.
Jay White, Mike Bailey, and Ishii and Chris Dickinson.
Yeah, they were both great. Dickinson was awesome in this. Ishii was great. Ishii actually felt like Ishii in this match, unlike the one with Thatcher.
That's good. That's definitely.
I think I favor White and Bailey though.
All right, that's fair.
Jay White's great. He's so good, and Mike Bailey. I talked about Mike Bailey all weekend. So
yeah. How was Killer Cross?
Not bad.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah. So I went into this with an open mind. By the way, Ren Narita and Rocky Romero was solid too. Went into this with an open mind because I was like, okay, Mr. Cross here. He has the fit. The best part is he got destroyed by Minoru Suzuki. So I was like,
match was sub 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was very to the point. He had some good trade-offs. He didn't do anything too ridiculous and theatrical. He just kind of went in there and wrestled and traded off. He was fine. He was not bad.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't what everyone dreaded in NXT. He was fine. And it helps when you have Suzuki in there. You have no other choice but to trade with him, and they traded chops, which was fun.
Did Killer Cross live up to the New Japan standard?
Fuck no. Come on.
No.
What do you mean New Japan standard? New Japan strong standard or New Japan standard?
A New Japan strong standard, I guess.
Yeah, I think he could fit in.
All right. Do you think he'll get a call back? I heard that Minoru Suzuki called him a young boy and then gave him a pile driver.
Yeah, fucking Suzuki just was like, fuck you, bitch. Yeah, he'll probably get called back.
GCW, Gringo Locos, The World on Lucha. Did you see the show? I did not.
I still have not. I need to watch it. Okay, I'm only watching the trios match and then Psycho Clown versus Dr. Wagner.
What about AR Fox versus Ninja Mac?
Thought about it. Watched Ninja Mac get squashed, and I was like, you know what? I've had enough Ninja Mac this week.
Speaking of Impact Wrestling Multiverse of Matches.
I watched the first two matches, haven't got to finish the rest.
I watched the entire show.
The X Division match sucked.
Yeah, it was fine. I think it was
Ultimate
fine.
X was a letdown. That's what it was.
That's ultimately what happened.
Just let my boy Chris Bay win. Also, the end was stupid.
Yeah.
Vincent just pulling down Jordan Grace and be like, yeah, you can win Trey Miguel. I was like, what the fuck?
It feels very much like because you're married to Jonathan Gresham. That seems like something they would do.
Yeah.
On a more Impact storyline, it's like,
just whatever.
Mike Bailey versus Alex Shelley was really good.
I'm not shocked.
I thought it was actually better than Chris Sabin versus Jay White, and that was also good. I thought Deonna Purrazzo versus Fabi Apache was pretty good too.
Oh, it's Fabi Apache? Yeah, I'm not watching.
And Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Edwards was really good, dude. Honestly,
we got Noah, Eddie Edwards.
We got New Japan Ishii.
Oh shit!
I thought this was really good.
How many stars did you give it?
3 3/4. But I thought I thought that was the best match on the show.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for those 3 matches.
It was
3 singles.
It was a welcome surprise because I was like, I did not expect Ishii to be as good as he is. And
Eddie Edwards was good too.
Eddie Edwards was also good. It definitely felt like
Which was more my worry.
It felt like they told Ishii that Eddie Edwards is in Noah, and he was like, "Oh, Noah New Japan, we're doing that right now." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll be the serious."
I need it.
GCW Joey Janela Spring Break Part 6.
No. Did you not watch the main event?
I did watch the main event. I had nothing to say about it.
Well, they had that great match earlier in the night. I didn't expect them to go out there and have a barn burn. Who won?
The Good Brothers.
I hate wrestling.
The Div. GCW Joey Janela Spring Break 6 Part 2. The greatest clusterfuck. Did you see this?
I have a couple matches written down. I want to watch Biff versus Tony Deppen.
So you did not see it, is what you're saying?
No, I didn't.
I did not see it either.
I might watch Dickinson versus Cardona.
I was gonna try to watch this show, and then I watched Spring Break Part 1, and I was like, you know what? I'll pass. I'll watch it later.
I have some sick interest in Minoru Suzuki versus Effie.
Me too. I hope it was good.
I just hope it was Minoru Suzuki crushing him like the young boy he is.
There's only one comment on Cage Match, and the person gave it 5 out of 10. Well, it's a transitional show for me. Transitional? From what to what? Better than the one before. Good the first 2 singles matches anyway.
That's English.
To be fair, it's a German website, so it could be translations.
That's true.
And all that stuff.
That's true.
Did you see Sean Ross Sapp in the clusterfuck?
I saw the clip of Denise low blowing him.
Yeah, get the both of them. I want to see both of them kick the curb. I don't want to see them in my wrestling.
Denise was on
Ring of Honor.
No, well, yes, but no. She was on one of the WWE Evils I watched.
Yes,
the Randy Orton one.
Yeah, I think she said she did a couple.
Yeah, she did. She did another one too. But I don't know if anyone watches that, can someone just to confirm to me how terrifyingly interesting it was that Randy Orton showed us how he got in the zone, like live on camera? It was insane. He puts his head down because he said he lets all the blood rush to his head.
Yeah. And
then he tenses up and he transformed. He was just sitting there yeah, you gotta do this. And then he goes, and then he's you see it in the commercial that they show for the series where he's doing that. It's terrifying. I was like, man, that's the heel of my childhood right there. Hell yeah. I like Randy. I know a lot of people are low on Randy and don't like Randy. I like Randy.
WrestleCon USA versus the World. Did you see the show? I did not.
Not yet, but I really want to. It looked good.
There's a person on here named Jessica Troy that I saw some good reviews about. And I also saw good reviews about the main event. The Michael
Rachel Ellering, who I like a lot.
The main event was Rev Pro Undisputed Cruiserweight title match, Michael Oku versus Rich Swann. I want to see that.
I'm really excited for Workhorseman versus Bandito and Ray Horse.
Me too. NXT Stand and Deliver, a little show that happened this weekend as well.
I watched the entire thing.
Me too. Thoughts on anything?
It surpassed my questionable expectations. Thoughts on anything? I thought the ladder match was good plunder. Good plunder. Enjoyed the plunder.
I loved that instead of sangria, instead of collapsing the ladder, he just put his arms out and held it like that. He just looked uncomfortable and weird. I was like, come on, man. No one holds the ladder like that. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, that's weird. Solo Sikoa took some bumps in this. He took that crazy sunset power bomb onto the ladder. That was nuts. Santos Escobar is so good.
Yes.
By the way, he was a star in this.
I think people forget how good he is. He was phenomenal in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, his tope, Suicida, phenomenal.
Yes, it's
the
best.
It's right there with Darby.
It's the best. Him and Darby, I would love to see them wrestle. Yeah, oh my god, that match would be really good. Holy shit.
They're just absolute rockets. Grayson Waller fucking killed himself. It was I watched it. I was like, he just didn't hit anything. He just hit the ladder and died.
He hit the dirt.
Tough. Carmelo Hayes didn't do much.
No.
I thought that was interesting. And Cameron Grimes to the moon. Hell yeah, that was a cool moment.
Tommaso Ciampa apparently is done.
Sad. I have no idea what he's done with.
Don't know either. What's happening? Triple H came out.
And sad. Good moment though. Happy he got that moment because he's the last one.
Yeah,
he is somehow the last one.
He does feel like the last one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he is the last one.
Maybe EO.
But, yes and
but
no.
Ciampa definitely.
Yeah. EO got fucking pinned.
I was about to say, hold on. MSK win the titles. I thought the match was pretty good.
Match.
The women's title match, I thought this stunk, except for Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray.
Oh, really? I thought it was good because of them. I thought it was better than I expected. The other two did pretty much nothing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray were great.
They were great, so like it made the match good.
And the other match,
they like
half. You're saying it half full. I'm saying it half empty.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Io Shirai got pinned, and I wanted to fight a person. I wanted to get up and drive to Dallas and just tell Shawn Michaels to go fuck himself.
I wanted to do the same
and I like Shawn Michaels.
I wanted to do the same thing regarding Gunther.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I tweeted exactly how I felt about this. I said, this man has lost he's lost his smile. He is a dead man walking. They took his song away. They took his name away. They took his fucking everything. He has no soul left. He stinks.
You and I talked about this the moment he showed up in NXT. In that first takeover that we reviewed, I said that, when he showed up, you can look back on the tapes, folks. When he showed up, I said that he is now just a guy. He has become just a guy. If you need even more proof,
just a guy.
If you need more proof, they changed his name to Gunther, and he wins this match and changes fucking thing. This match, by the way, first of all, they changed his name, they changed his theme song, and then this match, he's the underdog working from underneath. He's Walter. What is he doing? Why is he working underneath against L.A. Knight? Why is he doing that?
I like L.A. Knight.
Also, who in what world do you think Walter versus Eli Drake would be a phenomenal match?
This way the match. This was probably Walter's worst. This is definitely Walter's worst takeover pay-per-view.
Walter was one of my favorite wrestlers, dude. Now he sucks.
Oh, now he doesn't exist.
He's a guy. He's just a fucking dude on the roster.
I don't even think he's that. I think he's just like
he's not special. Ghost. He's not. They killed his aura. Something.
Yeah. I mean, when I heard the theme song, I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
the indescribable it that Walter has. They found a way to get rid of it, and they neutered him. They neutered it with Tony Storm. They neutered it with him. They do have a bunch of people where they have it, the thing that makes them popular, and they're like, fuck that. Change your thing. Become a fucking useless blob.
Well, not everyone can be Cody Rhodes, so that's tough.
Dolph Ziggler, Braun Breaker.
I actually liked the match for the most part. Of course, the ending is like the huge talking point. I saw a lot of people angry, and I was like, well, I'm assuming this means Braun Breaker is not long for NXT anymore.
Yeah, that's my assumption.
Which they probably were like, okay, well now we have to switch plans, because I'm sure the plan was to have Dolph lose.
Yeah.
And then Vince must have saw him on that one episode of Raw. He's like, where's this man been my whole life? Get him up here. Which I agree with. I mean, listen. People are like, oh, well, he's green. He's not going to fucking learn anything down there, okay? He's not going to learn anything new. Just feed him to the dogs. He'll thrive. He'll be fine.
The dirty dogs.
Literally. Dolph Ziggler revitalized. Good for him. He had the trunks, which I popped for because I was like, oh, this is when I used to love Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph Ziggler still can be good.
Yeah.
Which I thought he worked pretty well. They could do without the interference and whatnot, but it got Braun to lose, and Braun looked like a beast. Also, the spears, come on. Ooh,
I real quickly, it's 12:34, so we gotta finish up real quick.
I nailed it.
Oh shit, what was it? On my match ratings, every single Dolph Ziggler NXT match I've rated 3.25 stars.
That's good consistency though.
Better than Cody, better than the 3-star general. The last two real quickly. I don't think either of us probably watched it. Effie's Big Gay Brunch. I did not see it.
No, I didn't watch.
Mission Pro Wrestling Bangers Only. I don't think either of us watched it.
No, I didn't watch
it. So that's it. That's it for this show. We're not gonna do match of the weeks. Obviously.
I got one.
Really?
Yeah. Bryan Danielson versus Wheeler Utah.
Now I gotta have a match of the week if you have.
That was great. It was the only one that we hadn't talked about in any form.
All right. Well, let me come up with one real quick. As you
Naito versus Sabre Jr.
Don't give out more. I need to come up with one.
Well, that was the only other one I could think
of. Well, we also reviewed that last week, so that's fine. Plug some stuff as I look this up.
Follow me at Scotty Wrestling. You can check out my WrestleMania weekend diary that I've been posting. That's been fun. You can watch me literally freak out in real time, talking about Cody Rhodes. I did the whole adrenaline in my soul, holy shit, it's Cody Rhodes thing. Like, that was cool. You could see how I felt about all the matches I've watched so far. Why I thought WrestleMania was great. Well, WrestleMania is Saturday. WrestleMania can still go downhill tonight. You can follow me for all my stardom takes and wrestling takes and takes on takes and
takes on takes.
Yeah.
My
adrenaline in my soul. Holy shit, it's Cody Rhodes. Do it all to get them off their feet. Crowd is here, about to blow, ready for me to start the show. Are you ready?
My match of the week is...
My father said when I was younger... Sorry, go ahead.
If I start talking, we just...
You took it all away, I give it all away. To take my freedom.
My match of the week was from AEW Rampage, episode 35. Nick Jackson versus Dante and Darius Martin. That match is fantastic. Top flight are fantastic.
Top flight are top notch.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Have we done Top Flight versus FTR?
Yeah. I don't know.
if not, then you better say yeah. God damn, I can't wait. So we'll be back.
Bye.
We'll be back next week.
Next week's episode is gonna be so boring compared to these last two.
I don't know. It'll be 2 hours. Thank God. I'm so hungry.
Hyperdrive's next week or whatever the fuck it's called.
Hyper Battle. Hyperbolic. Well, next week we'll also be previewing Battle of the Belt 2 in Windy City Riot. Pretty good.
Oh, that's fun.
It's pretty fun. So we'll see you all next
week. When's the next terminus so I can fall asleep thinking about it?
Haven't announced yet. They haven't announced it. They're doing not terminus, but another thing called Rap Battle, whatever, or something.
Is Max Caster on it?
Yes, actually, legitimately. They're doing a thing called Battle Slam. It's Battle Slam Vendetta, where pro wrestling and hip hop collides. So it's gonna be hip hop guys and also pro wrestler like Janai Kai, Adam Priest, Queen Aminata. It's basically Terminus 3, but it's a different thing called Battle Slam Vendetta, and it has none of the Terminus stuff.
Wrestling was a mistake.
Max Caster will be there.
End the show.
Pastor Troy, whoever that is.
We went 3 hours and 6 minutes. End the show.
You were the one singing Cody Rhodes. I was the one trying to finish up the show, and you elongated it, man.
Well, you know why?
Why?
I got adrenaline in my soul.